time pressure sets in, can you maintain your nerves? A blunder by Justin Reed, and Kyler Murray is now 100% back in this game. Boom goes the dynamite on G7, and Mac Hollins blunders checkmate in one move.
It's like a 60-yard go ball touchdown walk-off. That could be the move that makes him the back-to-back champ. Keeping his calm.
He could be the Magnus of football.
My two loves, chess and football. I'm very excited. Here we go, baby. That's right. Blitz Champs 5. I'm T-Bob Aber. Blitz Champs is back here on Chess.com. For those that I don't know, maybe you've seen me on some other stuff. Work at Barstool Sports. I host a show called Wake Up Barstool. But for the past 6 years of my life, I've been infected with a chess sickness and passion. I love football. And so here my two loves come together. And what do you know? I've got a third love, and that's my guy, Mon Hamilton. When I started playing years ago, this is the man that I went to YouTube to learn from. He's one of the chess pros. Grandmaster Mon, what's up, Mon? How are we feeling today?
T-Bob, I love the energy, man. I'm hoping to mirror that because I can't wait to get into football and chess coming together. You mentioned your two loves. I'm always watching sports, football, one of them. So seeing so many of these guys that I see play football all the time coming in here, giving chess a try. And then for some of them, more than a try. They're almost experienced vets coming in and they know how to play.
Yeah. It's I played O-line, and unfortunately, the quarterbacks remain the smartest guys, as we'll see from some of these ratings, which I cannot sniff. But look at this lineup, Amon. Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, who's come in second here multiple times, desperately wants to win. One of the newcomers to the fray, Paulson Adebo. We got Super Bowl champion Chaz Surratt, the back-to-back two-time defending champ Justin Reed, Mac Hollins, KJ Britt, Justin Fields. What a field. And speaking of, we got Cynthia Freeland back on the call, giving us all of the inside info throughout the tournament today. Cynthia, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm psyched to be back. I think we need to call Blitz Champs 5 the Justin Blitz Champs because we have 3 Justins this year. But of course, we have to talk about Justin Reed, who is defending his 2-time Blitz Champ title. He could three-peat this time, which is bananas. I mean, he has that Super Bowl ring, but I feel like this Blitz Champs victory could be, right up there with that. I don't know. I think it's pretty much the same. When I'm looking at what he makes so special, it's not just the fact that he won that Super Bowl, but when you're looking at playing a safety position, which sometimes gets like a little underrated, you could really think, maybe he's a little underrated in chess too, but not here, not in this format. And then of course we have the second Justin Herbert, obviously the Chargers quarterback. When you're looking at his stats, and of course Amon helped me out with this, he's kind of like the second best if we were doing some seeding here. He has the second highest rating. He has the second highest rating. He has the second best victory. So the person he beat is the second highest rated. And he's also a Pro Bowl. I mean, Justin Herbert does it all. And I know he plays a lot of rapid chess, and this format's a little faster. If you're looking at his football stats this past year, the man had to throw under pressure really fast. So I think that shows that, maybe he has that quick decision making. And then there's Kyler Murray, the 2-time runner-up. Kyler Murray has been practicing his tail off. If you look at his increase over the past 5 seasons of playing, he has a 251-point increase. What? Over 7,000 games. As all of you know, that's an insane increase in a short amount of time. So if you're looking at volume per game, he's just killing it. I asked him on, of course, to give me some context here. And he said maybe like 100 points for the number of games that he's played would be a normal amount. Oh, he just 2.5 times that. So you're looking at that and you're saying, okay, maybe this is Kyler Murray's year to take it away from, oh my goodness. We have so much intrigue here.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And it's funny. I mean, you mentioned 7,000 games for Kyler. Like, again, I've been obsessed for over half a decade now. My wife thinks I play way too much chess. She makes fun of me all the time. I've only played like 5,000. And then we got Justin Reed in here who's done 25,000 puzzles. Like, we got some very good players in this field. And this setup, if we want to look at the bracket real quick, I think this is a very interesting setup. It's going to be a double elimination tournament here. Each match is going to be the first to 1.5. A tie is going to get you half a point. A win's going to get you a full point. But you kind of here in the beginning, we definitely have a favorite and an underdog in each of these matchups, right? I mean, you got Justin Reed versus Debo, Hollins versus Britt, Herbert versus Fields, and Murray versus Surratt. I think I know who's going to go through. We'll have to wait and see, but I'm very excited for this opening round.
Yeah, I mean, you think you know who's going to go through, but then you also remember that they're going to be matching up in the losers bracket as well.
Yeah.
And those matchups between maybe the two underdogs are going to be extremely exciting. So we will find, equality and parity between these pairings one way or another. And remember, you don't always have to be in the winners bracket to eventually win this whole thing. We've seen some crazy runs happen in the losers bracket.
Well, and I mean, you know this way better than I do, Amon, but like once you're playing here and it's public and you're on the field of 64,
Yep.
your brain can short circuit. You can get chest bonds. You can miss something obvious. All of a sudden, you throw in the game. If you go to the losers bracket, you drop down to 3-minute time control. So all of a sudden, you got to think faster there as well. But let's remember this, guys. The reason for the season, if you will, and that is charity, okay? Because right now, massive thank you to Chess.com. Look at that, a $100,000 charitable prize fund, and everybody's going to go home with something, okay? So the winner will take home the most, but nobody's going home empty-handed. Shout out to all of these players. They have personal charities that they're going to be playing for. Shout out to them for being here. You see it here. Justin Herbert, Pause for Life, K9 Rescue. Justin Reed's got his J. Reed and D Foundation, the Kyler Murray Foundation. Be careful looking up Mac Hollins Foundation there, the Free the Feet Foundation. Do not just search Free the Feet. Make sure you add on that last word as well. Paulson Adebo, the Nigerian American Football Outreach Program. We got KJ Britt with the Downhill Britt Foundation, Chaz Surratt, Mountain Holly Youth Football Program, and then Justin Fields with the Justin Field Foundation. Massive thank you to Chess.com. Massive thank you to all their players for dedicating their time to this at a busy time of the year so they can win some money for a cause that's very close to their heart.
Yeah, you said it. You said it best. It's like, it's so great to have these incredible stakes on the line, but at the same time, it is for charity at the end of the day. But that doesn't mean that anyone's going easy. We've seen the last editions of Blitz Champs. These guys are going all out. They're not holding anything back. And let me tell you, winning at the end of the day, it does mean a lot. These guys are competitors.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. You only make it, like in the NFL, right? Everybody's good. Like everybody can play football. So how do you separate? How do you make rosters? How do you become stars and Super Bowl champions like these guys are? I think there's two things. First, you have a work ethic and like you said, an otherworldly competitive desire just to win. Like you just want to beat the other human. Well, there's nothing more competitive than a game of chess. And secondly, I've always found that the biggest differentiating factor between, all the guys who make the roster and those who get left out, it's the mental side. Because again, physically, everybody is very close. So in football, it's okay, who's going to make the least mistakes, missed assignments? Who can the coaches rely on to be where they are when they're supposed to be there? And both of those traits carry over perfectly to a format like this, where who's going to make the least mistakes? Who's going to play the most accurate? I mean, it's time. Amon, what are you most looking forward to today?
Well, I think early on, as you mentioned, we might see some mismatches, but honestly, that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, because I think early on in a player's chess career, we don't know. There's a big question mark. You see a 400 rating. Did this guy, just start playing? How many games does he have under his belt? I think we could be in for some surprises. And that's why I do enjoy these mismatches, because we don't know if they actually are.
Okay, and here we go, guys. The quarterfinals are underway. You can see every board getting in the action right now. Amon, is there anything about any of these openings that is standing out to you thus far? Are players playing relatively quickly right now? Paulson in the think tank a little bit here. We'll see where he goes.
Yeah, I'm looking at all of these boards, and obviously the quickest moving one seems to be Kyler, Chaz, as well as the Battle of the Justins, which is sort of what I was expecting just in terms of experience there. So I actually think that Kyler Murray, that game right there against Chaz Surratt, I think that one's moving the quickest, and probably we got the most to talk about there, T-Bob.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because Chaz seems to have an intriguing journey with chess where he placed very highly. I think it was in Blitz Champs 2. He has a high peak rating. His current rating, maybe not so much, maybe taking a break from the game, but kind of dusting it off here. And of course, for Kyler, this means everything, given that he's trying to finally break through and get over second and win this thing.
Yep, that's right. There's a big moment here that I'm curious how Chaz is going to react, because there's checkmate in one move being threatened.
Oh
And
man.
if you maybe take the pawn in the middle of the board thinking, I'm attacking the queen, this is a great idea. Just let's see how he reacts to this. This is okay because it's a check,
Okay.
but
Yep.
this next
Let's
move's
see. Here it
critical.
is.
Okay,
Okay. Look at
there we
Chaz.
go.
Eyes on the prize. He's ready to go. Now, how is this still advantage Kyler, given that if he accepts this queen trade, we're looking at doubling up on those F pawns?
Yeah, if the Queen's trade, I would actually say Chaz is completely out of the woods in terms
Oh
of
wow.
the danger level. So I think Kyler, when you have that advantage in rating, usually Queen's on the board is a bit more dangerous for the opponent to deal with. But in this case, I think Chaz has done a great job trading equal value pieces, offering a Queen trade here. And if the Queen takes and the Knight takes back, Chaz is going to have the option to castle the King to safety in either direction. Honestly, it's been a great opening so far.
Oh yeah, of course, right. He could just come out of the night. I'm an idiot. But yeah, that's why you're the grandmaster, and I'm not even rated as highly as most of these guys.
That's not true, T-Bob. Maybe half the field's got you, but the other half, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's true. That's true. I have a passion for the game, Amon.
That's right.
I certainly have a passion for the game. I'm looking at some of these other boards as well. It looks like Justin Herbert already putting it on Fields a bit in
Yep.
terms of kind of your core tenets here, right? Develop your pieces, fight for control over the middle. And wait, here it is. Is this? Oh, did
Yeah,
he just
I
miss
had
the
to
mate
bring
in
us
one?
over because we're looking at that pure domination. You're talking about the center of the board, how critical it is. Just take note of White's pieces here, how every single one of them is kind of contributing to the center in some way. And Black's pieces are just getting picked apart here, as Justin Herbert is, in my opinion, one of the players to really watch if we're looking for someone outside of that 1-2 that we've seen from the last couple of years. I think Justin Herbert can really compete.
And where is the mate here, Amon, for Herbert? I mean, it seems like there's maybe a million here, but
Mhm.
what does he need to do to just go ahead and finish this one off?
I would say a good start would be to bring the queen in with a check and then bring the queen further up the board when the king tries to run away, rather than trade. I wouldn't really want to trade the queens because I think we're putting the kill on here. So we've taken some material. That's great. Now we're looking probably at like a rook check like this, and that could actually be checkmate in 2 moves if he finds it.
Okay, so now he does the queen trick, or excuse me, now he
Hmm.
does brings the queen check that you were alluding to earlier. And this is
So,
always kind of a funny part when you're a player at this level, especially is like
mhm.
you know it's there, and you sometimes can't quite suss it out.
Yep. Yep. And this is actually a great example of just mobilizing all the pieces. Look at this final
And there we go,
position.
dude. And there we
Domination,
go.
T-Bob.
Oh, see, now this is something that I absolutely love is like looking at checkmates and then like applying some sort of nerdy storyline to it. And look at this, the queen and her troops just absolutely decimating Justin
Right.
Fields to give Herbert the early 1-0 lead.
That's exactly it. Jump into our other game here, Justin Reed against Paulson Adebo, and it's kind of what you might expect if you heard those two names were getting in the ring together on the chessboard. It is not the same type of domination that we saw on the previous game, but it is one-sided, and this Black King is getting hunted down by all of White's extra pieces.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is this is Stanford versus Stanford right here. And so both, objectively very smart guys. But again, Reed, the two-time champ, a true passion for the game.
Yep.
Paulson coming to the game more as of late. And it's funny. I cannot fathom having to play a player of Reed's capabilities when you're at, the
Yep.
level of experience that Adebo's currently at.
That's right. That's right. And he's definitely got his work cut out for him here. We're jumping around, but you know what? I could safely say that I think Justin has got this one in the bag. And I want to take us to Kyler and Chaz because this game in round one, despite the mismatch, T Bob, is a genuinely close fight that Kyler's marginally ahead in. But I think Chaz has done a phenomenal job so far.
So this is interesting because this kind of goes back to where we're talking about sort of the weird rhythm of Chaz's Chess.com profile, where if you were to just look at his base rating as it stands today, I do not think that's wholly accurate to the player that he is. And we're seeing that. And here Kyler is another year in this tournament. So excited to be here. And already round number one has a real fight on his hands.
Yes, he does. There's one thing that I always advise when you have the king castle behind these three pawns, push one of them forward because, and you see it here, there is the opportunity for the game to end in just one move. Even if you trade the queens here, the rook can still go down. So we need to see Chaz being, alert to the danger of the position here.
It's one of those things that many a game when you first start out, you're like, I'm winning, I'm dominating here, I feel great, and then next thing you know, your screen pops up checkmate. You're like, wait, what happened? Oh, okay, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay, great protection there by Surratt. He sees it, he blocks it off.
Very nice. Very nice. And another protection here. Now, we're seeing this is basically offense versus defense here. And Kyler is on offense. That's a good place to be on the chessboard as well. He's just picking a different target each time. And Chaz has done a good job defending, but he's going to have to lose something.
Yeah, now Kyler going C1 there to threaten that pawn, then take that pawn. Could he have just doubled up the rooks there and maybe threaten that back rank again? And which now obviously Chaz is taken care of.
No, it's a good call that you're right. He could have done it, but it would be sort of it'd almost be a gamble. He'd hope that Chaz wouldn't see it. This way, he's guaranteeing something, but he doesn't take the free rook here. So overlooking it, but he might see it now.
I wonder see, again, this is that thing where it's like when you're in the moment, guys.
Yep.
You can miss something that to us sitting here on the outside appears so obvious. 2 moves in a row now, Kyler not taking the rook that is just sitting there. The
game can end if the pawn captures right here. This game will be over with a couple of checks. There's actually a checkmating pattern that could appear on the board.
Yeah, it's that classic, I've castled, my rook is still hanging out there. I don't know where I heard this term. I don't know if it's a real term or not, but rooks on the 7th, I call them pigs at the table. I don't think I think I heard that somewhere at one time. But yes,
I think you invented the table. I heard pigs on the 7th, but I like them at the table too.
Okay. Well, I just think about these greedy pigs just sitting up there eating everything that there is as they slowly but surely take the life out of you.
There you go. And they are. That's exactly what's going on. Now, of course, we have this hanging rook that's just almost a relic. It's like a painting. It's just hanging on the wall of this position. But we'll have to just ignore that for now because both of the players are as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, you get kind of the tunnel vision. Kyler's thinking checkmate. And again, he's coming up with like interesting plays to give him the temptation of, oh, just take this pawn. It's free. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to mate you. And now
So what do you think? I thought maybe you would hit me with the football chess reference first. I'll go football on you. So this rook right here, it's almost like, quarterback, you're scanning, there's something wide open. There's something so obvious, but if you're just not looking in that direction, you miss the receiver, you go somewhere else where there's coverage. It feels like this is just a blind spot right now.
No, I mean, it's exactly what it is. And it's the same thing that, like, again, when, you're sitting at home, you're watching the game, you're eating sandwich, eating dips, and they show the replay and you're like, oh my God, how did he not see the safety get sucked up? Like it was a touchdown and he complete as well. It's like, you don't know what's going through his head, right? His first read was maybe technically like the drag and he's not paying attention to the post because that's his 4th read. So yeah, it's a very common thing for sure.
All right. Will we see a checkmate?
There it is.
Yes. On the board, and Kyler getting it done. So sort of the favorites doing what you might expect them to do in game number 1. And I'm going to jump us over to Mac Hollins and KJ Britt, although it's all Mac here as we tune in to a lone king against an army.
Yeah, I love this. The king hunt is on. He's desperately trying to run away for his life. His days are numbered here. And what I also love about this tournament is and look at here, it's setting up the discovered check. It's only a matter of time. And Mac is a player who, if you know about Mac Hollins, football player, very intense, a little bit out there, and someone who also really believes that he can win this tournament. And although we didn't talk about the top 3, he is really in that grouping as well as with the favorites.
He really is. He's someone that I would say is the perfect dark horse for a tournament like this because I think his ceiling is very high, but he probably also has a lower floor than some of these other players because he actually does have one of the highest ratings coming in, but that's a former rating for him. He hasn't been at that 1500 level in a little bit. He's now at 1200, but I think he can compete with the 1400s of, Justin, all the Justins, in fact.
Yeah. This is something that I love too when you're playing players that you kind of know you're better than, gain a material advantage, trade off
Mhm.
pieces. Let's just get to the end game. And eventually I'm going to find a way to just march a pawn down and I'll go ahead and
That's
end
right.
it that way. No need for flash. Let's just be solid, consistent, and win this game. But avoid the draws, right? Avoid the
Yep.
stalemate, which is something you can always fall into at this level.
100%. And the way to avoid that is to be always giving checks. Don't make too many moves that are not a check. So I wonder if he's going to be setting things up. He's going to first move the pawn, which I love. That allows the rook to cover and cut the king off. But there's a risk sometimes when you make too many queens.
Yeah.
Bob, it's like it's almost too many cooks in the kitchen.
No, bro, you can't. I'm telling you, like, there's a bad player myself. Like, you can't keep track of it all. Like, you can't see what squares are covered, what's not. Now, it does look like Matt. Yeah, there we go. He's got the
Nice.
He's got the ladder.
You
mate
followed
done.
my rule about giving checks, where if you're not sure, you got so much going on, just if every move is a check, I promise you it will end in checkmate eventually.
So KJ Britt falling to Mac Hollins. Was that game number one there? Yeah, that was game number one. He's
Yep.
up 1-0. Justin Reed here already on the
Yep.
path to closing this thing out and moving on to the semifinals.
That's right. Yeah, we are doing those best of twos. So, of course, with the amount of material remaining here, especially the time on the clock, you're just seeing that comfort level. Even if you are a good chess player, T-Bob, it's tough to get into this low time situation. 5-minute chess or 3-minute chess in the loser's bracket, that moves very, very quickly. And the players might be used to longer time, more time to think.
Yeah, that's funny. That's why I almost exclusively play 5-minute chess. When I started playing, was like I got to do something that I can play a game in the bathroom. Like
Yep.
that was the entire basis of my the beginnings of my chess journey there. But yeah, this is what we expected out of Justin Reed. And
Yep.
look at him. He's locked in. Look at the office setup. He's
I
got
know,
Super
that's
Bowl
a-
trophies in the background. He's got
Championship
BLITZCHAMPS
setup
trophies in
there.
the background. Yeah, dude, absolutely dialed is Saint safety, Justin Reed.
And it looks like we might get a checkmate with a pawn, with a knight. He's gonna, sort of pick and choose here. Dominant so far. I think the place to be, the matchup that is actually, and we see the nice checkmate there, the matchup that can go both ways, it is Chaz and Kyler. Again, advantage for Kyler. And with that last move, double question mark, the computer very quick, very critical of that one. Material is gonna fall here, and Kyler looking to move to 2 out of 2.
Yeah, that's tough for Chaz, man. He's playing a clean game, but that's kind of the brutality of chess, dude. You can, you make 10 right moves, you make the one wrong move, and then it all falls apart shockingly quickly.
All right, let's see, T-Bob. We have a checkmate in 2 moves here. Huge if Kyler plays rook g2. You almost want to bring the rook down to give the check, but sideways, right in front of it, would
Oh,
be
and there
the
he
game
goes.
over.
There he goes. And now the knight threatened here, getting him to safety, threatening a little fork action there on the bishop and the rook.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at this point, again, I'm not even thinking if I'm Kyler. I got the material advantage. I'm just gonna trade and just figure it out from there. Like I take bishop. He wants to take back. I'll take with the rook. Oh, or yeah, there you go. He wants to play chase a little bit.
Oh, this is even better. He's going to pick up this piece here, and you can't even take it back now. King is going to have to be on the run. So I think Kyler is maybe more used to being on the run himself, and quite good at it. Is actually going to be the one chasing down here.
Yeah, and one thing I love about this, and we can talk about it in the pre-show, but like chess is infinitely applicable. It's one of the best parts about the games. You can apply it to life, anything else. It really resonates with football to me. I mean, queens worth 10. That's your quarterback, right? Your linemen are the pawns. They're worth 1, but they're critical to success in the overall game plan. Your flashy guys are your rooks and your bishops, and then you're kind of running back and knights. You're running back and linebackers of those knights just jumping around, juking around, bursting through holes, creating flashy plays. It's the absolute best.
Yep, absolutely. No, there really are so many similarities, and that's why I think it's interesting to see which types of players excel at chess. And, ironically, we've actually found that it's more of those defensive minded players over the years.
Yeah. Now, this is interesting here. It seems obviously Chaz is still losing this game heavily. He seems to have avoided some of maybe the immediate checkmates, at least to my very layman eye. If
Yep.
you're Kyler here, are we just getting into just simplify and we already kind of missed the chance for the flashy mate. Let's just end this thing.
I think so. There is an option to maybe play rook takes knight. It's not a fair trade. It's negative for black, but there's only one piece remaining for white.
Yeah.
So by eliminating that, the simplicity goes way up. So there's all these practical ways and things you can do. I would probably take that, for example. But of course, a move like this is fantastic as well. He's looking to clean up the rest of the board.
Yeah, no, trust me. If I'm, if I'm playing, who knows what I would do. But from where I stand now, as an observer, I would take trade, get my king involved. Let's just start marching our pawns down the field and eventually end this thing.
Yep.
I guess too, sometimes at this level, and I don't expect this out of Kyler certainly, but sometimes at this level too, time can creep up on you when you're winning big. And you want to try to finish in a flash rate. But he's moving fine right now, but it's something to maybe watch going into the later rounds where you can start to panic because all of a sudden I'm dominating, but I'm down to 30 seconds and what's going to happen.
Yeah, something to watch in the losers bracket. Once these players have lost one game, goes down to 3 minutes. For example, right now, Kyler's time would be expired, right? So you're playing right now with that 5 minutes, but should you lose, you have to adjust and play a lot quicker. Kyler with a 2-0 though, and that means he will be moving on.
All right, there we go. So we've got Justin Reed advancing, Justin Herbert advancing, Kyler Murray advancing, and okay, is this KJ Britt with a slight lead on the eval? Okay, well, there you go. Right, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But
eval bar at this point, yes, doesn't really come into play. This is not professional chess. Like, these things turn on a dime.
I think we could be seeing the rook slide over. It feels like the right move to hit the queen. You have to really be locked in to notice the H2 square. If you don't notice it, that's checkmate going to come in 2 moves right here. Maybe even 1 move if you're not careful. And actually, he does see it. Okay, I know this doesn't look like a good move, T-Bob. It's going to lose material, but I promise you, this was necessary.
Yeah. Was there a way out of that without losing material? Obviously, he's going to go down the knight here, but
I don't think so. Genuinely, I think he actually played the best move. And it's even more impressive that he realized he had to make a move that looked bad because it was the only option.
Oh, missed the chance to. Oh, wait, no, never mind. He couldn't have because he would have gotten taken by the other rook. I was going to say,
actually, I think that's what he was thinking, T-Bob. He was ahead of himself, thinking, I'll move this pawn to bring the bishop back and support it. But then he lost his own bishop because he was only thinking about what he was planning and didn't realize that Mac is setting up checkmate and is going to pick off that material.
Okay, nice block there, extending this game for a little bit. KJ Britt fighting. You think it's just as simple as moving the rook up to D2 and then back over?
That if the rook goes up 1 square, you actually cannot stop checkmate. The best you can do is just give up your material. Look at that. Mac is dialed into those patterns. You think that this isn't maybe the most impressive part of the game, but in some ways it really is. Putting away your opponent efficiently is it's a mark of a strong player.
And it sounds really dumb because to you it's like it's so obvious, but even something as simple as that bishop being there in F4, ready to support the rook as it moves over for mate, so the king can't take. It's all. I love seeing pieces work in concert together.
Yeah,
it's the beautiful part of the game when everybody's flowing together. It's exactly like football in that way. I mean, you want 11 guys on the same page every play. That's how you're going to create success. Okay, there we go.
There it is. Nice checkmate there from Mac. And, despite the 2-point scores, I feel like, thinking back on some of those games, it could have really swung the other way, right? The computer was screaming in the other direction at times, but ultimately, I think our favorites tended to make it through.
Yeah, and again, this is not surprising, but to your point earlier, there is a lot of chess left to play. If we look at this losers bracket now, we have KJ Britt, Paulson Debo, Justin Fields, Chaz Surratt. Would you agree that Surratt's the favorite out of this bottom bracket?
I think so. Based on the way that they now, here's the thing. Based on the way that they played against stronger opposition, I would say yes. But here's the thing. Sometimes you have a different style and you're more maybe you rise to your opponent's level, so you do better against higher-rated players. So I'll have to wait to see how they fare against a more, a closer competition.
And now let's bring in the third member of our broadcasting team. We got Cynthia Freeland giving us the inside info. Cynthia, what did you see there in those quarterfinals?
Well, I think it's kind of important to note that perhaps KJ and Mac have some information on each other because they played together. So maybe they were in each other's heads. Maybe that was a little bit interesting there. So that's one of the things that I noticed. So when I'm looking at going forward, I think Kyler Murray's game will look a little bit stronger. He has notoriously done this every single year. Like the first round's always been like, eek, and then he gets really strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. And of course, there's so much chess action going on, and I get overwhelmed easily. But Amon did a great job of staying on top of all of the games there. Did we see any major blunders out of our favorites? I feel like for the most part, they played pretty clean chess there in round one.
Yep, I think Kyler I think he had the toughest matchup. But I will say there were some double question mark blunders from Mac specifically. And it wasn't always converted in the best way. But I would say if we're really looking at all the favorites, I think Mac was the one that had the most slip-ups that weren't capitalized on.
And it's funny because even, this second year I've got to do this and it's so much fun. It's great. But like even Herbert last year, that was him in that quarterfinal round. There were definitely some wild swinging eval bars and he had some real opportunities that he missed. Herbert seeming like maybe the most improved player in the field right now, potentially. And I am very excited to watch where his tournament goes as he's on a collision course.
Yeah, I think that Herbert is a player that if Herbert stays in the 5-minute part of the bracket, so the winners part, I think he can go all the way. I really do. But I get nervous maybe if he goes down to the losers bracket. He is a very good rapid player. Use those longer time controls. I could see maybe the time becoming an issue because actually Herbert played probably the most dominating. Remember that checkmate, T-Bob? Cynthia, I don't know if you saw that one, but it was probably the most one-sided game that we tuned into.
Yeah, I think that when I'm looking at what he's really good at, I thought he made really good quick reactions, better than last year. Like I thought that was a really big increase. The increase we saw from Kyler last year is kind of like what we saw from Justin Herbert this year.
Now, what about this, Amon? When you're in one of these games, you're playing in a tournament, you're feeling pressure. This is more than just your average game.
Yeah.
When you make a mistake, what is your process to not let that one mistake turn into two?
Well, I think it's a great question because there is a whole mental aspect to chess. What I like to remind myself of is that, first of all, these guys are maybe even better than some of their opponents or worse, so there might be a discrepancy. But usually what I like to say to myself is, look, I'm playing someone around my level. If I can make these mistakes, trust me, they're ready to make them as well. They're not so much better than me that they can't. And if I'm out here making them, then I have to expect I just need to give my opponent a chance to make a mistake. So I don't want to simplify the position, keep it complicated. You need to give your opponent an opportunity to make a mistake, or they're not going to make one.
Yeah, and let that be a lesson to all the newer chess players out there. When you blunder, don't just surrender these games. Make them beat you.
Yeah.
Make them beat you. Because like you say, normally you're playing someone that is objectively at your level. And like you said, if you screw it up, they can screw it up too. Probably my favorite football saying, and it applies to, I think, life in general, but one snap and clear. That's the football golden rule. That's what my old man taught me. And it's like, okay, you had a good play or you had a bad play. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the next play. You had a good play. It doesn't matter. All that matters is the next play. And if you abide by that over time, you're going to set yourself up for maximizing your success, whatever that that the relative ceiling is. You're at least going to reach that ceiling if you apply that philosophy. Cynthia, what are you most looking forward to here in the semifinals? We now got some of the big dogs that you were previewing before the tournament started going to be going head to head.
Well, obviously, I love looking at the winners bracket, but I think the losers bracket or the non-winners bracket will be nice. Is interesting too because you can get back into it, right? You can get last year we saw that happen. There's a lot of drama there, but I'm really interested to see the two quarterbacks go at it, of course, because
Oof.
Kyler, Justin, they play, we used to see them play each other on the field. We'll see it in the future, but I want to see how those two quarterbacks work.
I mean, this is like, for the NFL fan, this is actually so insane. Having Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray going toe to toe here. I mean, these are two quarterbacks that have a lot to prove this year. Herbert always kind of given the title of, the if quarterback, and everybody says he's so good, but we tend to do this thing where we just judge everything off of championships. So I don't describe that, but a lot of kind of media types do. And so Herbert's always getting crap for that. And then here you have Kyler Murray. He's restarting his career in Minnesota. And now these two who are looking to prove things this year, they're going to go toe to toe here at Blitz Champs 5, looking to take home the title. I cannot wait.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, Kyler Murray with the purple board.
Oh, that's right. What a sign.
It seems like it's a Vikings moment.
Feeling comfortable. All right, we're going to get to the chess here in a couple of seconds. Cynthia, thank you so much. We'll be checking in with you throughout. Amon, I'm very excited to get back to the action here. It should be starting any second. And then the other big one here, Mac Hollins, Justin Reed. Slight advantage, Justin. But again, these are all players. Like, for instance, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. I play it every day. I'm 850. My goal is to get to that. I'm 850. These guys are all 1,200, 1,300, 1,400. So this is some chess that you're going to guide us through. And there it is. We got our first moves in Hollins Reed. What are we seeing here, Amon?
Well, first things first, I think I caught this in the very first round that Justin Reed opens with this exact same start. And it's taking the center, but then kind of throwing his own spin on it with what we call a fianchetto here, playing G3, Bishop G2, very safe. He's going to castle. And I imagine this allows him later on to actually push this pawn up the board and get a maybe dangerous kind of attack going. So he's got his little system, and that helps him play the first moves really quickly. He knows these positions.
Now, what about this? So I'm not exactly when the move order was, but move that pawn to H3. Is that just to keep that knight from jumping in there?
Yeah, you got it exactly. Yep.
Okay.
That knight in combination with the bishop would put a lot of pressure on that pawn on F2.
And is there any concern? I imagine not, because obviously Reed's played this position a lot, but that the knight being pinned to the queen there. Okay, wow, and look at the queen diving right into it.
Yeah, you're actually highlighting a lot of the weak and strong points of the position, and rightly so, at a good time too, because Mac probably spied what you were saying. Like, hang on a sec, that knight's kind of pinned to the queen here. Let's bring the queen in. We're actually going to stop the king from leaving the center of the board. We're also threatening to take this pawn here. A more conventional development from Mac, just all pieces to the center, controlling the center, the queen as well, making use. Whereas Justin's kind of going for this like offside approach, and watch out here because that center pawn can be taken, and immediately we see Mac rising to the challenge here against Justin.
Wow, look at that. Check already being played. Do you trade queens here? Do you accept the trade?
The reason that I would, even though we just won something, we're ahead, the reason I would is I really think that this move right here is a powerful one. It would force that king to go back. And what you're going to see now is Justin Reed is going to move that rook over. Huge moment here, T-Bob. If that bishop goes there, you stop the king from running away, and he does it.
Ooh.
Look at this. The king is going to have to remain in the center.
Bring the rook in. There it is, dude.
Effortless.
Mac, where did this all go wrong for Reed here? Was it as simple as that, as the, because again, that bishop there on C1, he's just been jammed in there all game long.
Yep.
Hasn't been able to move, right? And it all goes back to that knight being pinned to the queen. Like the rooks aren't connected. It's just a brutal place to be. You feel like you're in a chokehold, basically. Like you 100%. Can't move.
That's exactly what it is. And you know what he should have done? He should have castled probably a move or two earlier than he did. Yep. He sort of like, lollygagged there, and then boom, he never had the option to do it again. There is probably not a forced checkmate here. I'm seeing some really good moves, including this one by Mac.
Oh.
I don't think Mac has made a mistake this game at a high level. He's playing really, really well here.
Yeah, by the way, obvious you love sports, lollygag. That is a coaching term 101 that I've heard 8,000 times in my life.
Good. There we go. I like it.
Man,
I
that
mean, T-Bob, this is so impressive right here. This rook is coming to the center, defending the pawn, but Mac already has winning ideas. Knight into c2 here is going to fork both of the rooks, and he does it
monster
because he was
fork,
prompted
dude.
to.
Absolute monster fork here. I mean, the knight can have his way with any piece on the board, basically.
Oh, this is a really, really strong game. And I mentioned something about Mac is that he's a player that can sort of rise to that level. And that's exactly what it looks like he's doing so far. But now you get to that point of the game, conversion. It's not easy. The hardest thing they say in chess, you got your expressions. I got a chess one for you. The hardest position to win is a winning one.
Yep. I mean, and there's nothing that'll tilt you more going into even like a second game.
Exactly right.
And again, given the ratings here, the fact that Justin is technically kind of the expected favorite here, like if anybody's gonna find their way out of a losing position like this, Reed can maybe suss this thing out. Although it looks very, very tough from here.
And I'll just put a variation on the board here, just a possibility. Rook to the corner, hitting the rook. Maybe Justin says, oh, let me take this. I'm actually going to win material. The other rook comes to the corner, and we actually get to see a checkmate of that king on the side of the board there. So just showing you how close to checkmate we are actually in this position, whether the players know it or not.
That is so crazy. I would have never noticed that. I'm just saying, like, okay, just go rook c1. Oh no, you can't go rook c1. Give a check. Go get taken by the bishop. God, see, dumb.
Yeah.
See, that's how I lose the winning position right there.
That's the hardest ones to win. I'm telling you.
Oh man, and look, you can tell Reed just from his body language, fully locked in now. Maybe feeling a little confident coming out of round one. He dominated. Now sitting up a little bit. Hollins rubbing his hands together, getting a little bit of the sweaty palms here, I would imagine.
Yeah, now here's a moment. That bishop moves, which means
That's now
the move
open.
you were thinking of is now available.
Threatening the bishop, almost coaxing him back into the better position that he was in.
Okay, so now I think probably, I love this move. That's going to win the game right there. That's it.
Wow,
Mac Hollins.
Look at it, dude. No way.
Game one. And I don't know if you can, are you visualizing this? He actually used the checkmate that I mentioned, but he actually flipped it the other way around. Very cool. And Mac, so impressive to spot that out.
Yeah, Mac obviously been in the lab, maybe even playing a bit of possum with that rating. And here we have the Herbert versus Murray battle. Murray with the time disadvantage, already 2 minutes down on the clock. Herbert's had him in the think tank the entire game.
Oh, he absolutely has. And this is what I expect. I saw the rating and the work that Justin Herbert's been putting in on Chess.com. He's a really good rating, but also he plays rapid chess. So I'm expecting him to be really good and really competitive with these guys. Queen h7, you're fully invading. This is actually checkmate if you can spot it. He'll probably see this first move, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the board here for you, T-Bob. The queen can give a check. The king can move out of the way.
Bishop a3?
Bishop a3 is a great move.
Damn it.
We have an even quicker way to do it. We want to give queen h8 checkmate, but the king's going to run away. So we actually want to just give up this knight to cover that square with our rook. And no matter how you take it, I mean, it's just that's a nasty way to end things. So let's see if he spots it out, because there's a huge opportunity here. He plays a great move. It won't be checkmate, but it's advantage for Justin Herbert.
See, again, for someone like at the lower level, seeing the knight sacrifice to then open up the vision of the rook, which then covers the escape square. That's
a lot.
That's
a lot.
But it's like one of those beautiful elements of chess.
T-Bob, your move bishop a3 was actually so phenomenal. You probably would have either given checkmate or won your opponent's queen. So that move was a very, very good candidate.
So now that, I mean, Collar definitely not fully saving. He's down on time. Where do you move this queen now? This threat of your, there you go. Discovered check. Bang, bang.
Look at that.
Oof. Double check.
Oh yeah. We almost lost you off screen there, T-Bob. It's nasty.
The discovered double check. Herbert. I mean, this is, unfortunately, I think Collar's just done almost because of time here. The
Yeah,
position's too
so
bad,
there
not enough
is a
time on the clock.
plus there's a plus 1 second increment, but I will say that's almost like a chess player's time control. You have to be really attuned to know like plus 1 second is almost nothing. You barely have time to even process your opponent's move, think of your own, and then move it. If he gets down to 5 seconds, I'll be surprised if he doesn't flag.
If I was okay, I was going to say if I'm Herbert, do I just take the knight there? Let's get the queen out of safety, kind of breathe for a minute, and put the onus on
Yep.
him since he's so low on time.
Exactly right. 20 seconds here. Material. I mean, the chess quality that I'm seeing from Justin Herbert is extremely high level. I'm just going to put it out there. From what I've seen, he almost seems to be one of the most complete players. So I'm just maybe concerned about time and how it's going to affect him in the future. What I do know is it's not going to affect him in this game.
No, it'd be interested to see. Now I there is something funny, and it almost never works out, but there is something sort of fun about getting so low on time that you don't have to think anymore. And you just kind of send it. And again, it generally just
In that
leads
flow
to a
state.
speedy demise. Yeah, but every now and then you'll like stumble upon something great and cool. Although I don't see it in Kyler's future here. And it looks like Herbert now. I kind of like this from Herbert here, Amon, because he seems to be taking a little time now, a little more than he was earlier to say, okay, let's really just sit here, have the advantage, let's figure this thing out.
Yeah, he's also done something great, which is pry open the center. He's actually going to lose a
Yep.
pawn here, but he doesn't care. He just says, "Let's rip things open. I'm going to have one of these bishops checking, can bring the other rook to the middle of the board." And Kyler's trying desperately to get some counterplay, but look at the pure domination from Justin
Beautiful.
and the bishops.
Oh, that's pretty right there. The
Wow.
bishop's fully activated,
Yep.
blasting laser beams all across the battlefield, all pieces working in concert. What a performance here in game number one by Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I'm just going to sneak us over to Paulson Adebo against KJ Britt. KJ likely going to pull off the 2 wins here. He's already got one under his belt, but it looks like another one coming in short order. Just going to move him along in that loser's bracket.
Yeah, and so is this just okay? Wow, yeah. Well,
This will
was
get it
Queen
done
C1 in
in
tonight? Will this get it done?
one move with Queen
Yep.
E1, or the knight can also go here to make way for the queen to come down, and that will also get it done.
Pretty play there.
Nice.
Block with the rook, finish it off. Congrats to KJ Britt, a really nice one. So he's already taken care of. He's already moving on. A
Yep.
great tournament from Paulson Adebo. He's new to the game. He's a smart cat. He's only going to get better from here, and he takes
Yep.
home some money for his charity of choice.
I just want to say, just a few words there. Huge shout out to anyone who's willing to get in the ring with players, 10x their rating. Chess
Yeah.
is so unforgiving, and it's easy to look a fool out there. So I commend him, and I think he had some good moments.
Oh man, look at Matt Hollins looking at the camera and smiling. He knows it. He's
Yep.
going to knock out our two-time defending champion, or not, excuse me, knock him
Knockdown.
down.
Yep.
But
Yep.
still, what a performance. Oh, look at him looking at the camera, dude. He's cheesing. One
Yeah.
of the
Yeah. I want to get the hot mic on him right now.
Oh
That's
man.
great. That's great. We got one game in action, so we're gonna jump and stay with it. But I'm telling you, Mac, watch out. He can rise to the level of his opponent, and he certainly did there with the quick 2-0. Kyler Murray bouncing back. Great start. You can play knight takes bishop here, followed by queen takes, and you're
Yeah.
going to pick up material. Only an extra pawn, but this is the start you need as Kyler. He's looking to push it to a tiebreak, which we haven't seen in any match so far.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Amon, but when you're talking about castling on opposite sides of the boards, that's like going to be a violent game, a wide open game, right? I mean
Yep.
that's when you're really going to see some very sharp and fun lines played.
Absolutely. That's usually where you can also take a few more liberties in terms of the material. Whereas I would say white could play a good move, b3. It might lose a pawn, but it's going to open a line directly to that king, and black might do the
Interesting.
same. Look at this. This is another pawn, but by taking it, you see the advantage for white has actually disappeared for the most part. Black now has the open lines to white's king.
Damn. Oh wow. See, that's crazy because like everything Kyler Murray just did felt sensible. And like you
Mhm.
said, you get a material advantage. yet the nature of the opposite side castle game has kind of opened everything up.
Yep. Look at this. Huge move from Justin Herbert. The rook is attacked, and how can you actually defend it? You need to have this other rook support it, which means you got to move the knight, but lo and behold, you have
Yeah.
no square to move the knight that's safe.
So all of a sudden that knight is trapped, fighting for his life. He's going to get killed.
Yep.
There it is.
It might not be over though, because remember what I was just saying about open lines? Well, now white
Oh.
has one to black's king, so it's flipping all the way back around. If the king goes in the corner, we might see the queen try to set up a checkmate.
Which rook check did you like more there? Was there an advantage from either one?
Easy way to tell is think about what you want your other rook to do. In this case, if I had a rook over on f1, maybe I could move it to the e file. What's this rook in the corner doing? Nothing.
He's doing
so
nothing.
I prefer
Yeah,
the
okay.
other rook. Exactly.
Okay. But all of a sudden it looks like Justin moving his king there to c7, getting him in a little bit of trouble.
And here it is. If we see this queen check, that's what I'm looking for. Why? If the king moves, oh, what a move from Kyler Murray. If the king moves, that's checkmate in one. If the rook blocks, thank you for the rook. And I'm also threatening checkmate in one. What a find by Kyler.
Could you pull? I was going to say, could you drag the king away and then check? Or is that no? Because then you're doing an even trade versus just taking the free rook.
You are,
but
doing
you'll open
trade,
yourself on the bishop there.
But you and Kyler are dialed in. If he brings this next rook in, I could see this working out. He's going to have to play the right checks. So let's see what he does. But this is absolutely 100% working. He should probably take this bishop. I'm concerned if he grabs the pawn that the bishop's going to go in the way. And this is what I mean. You have to play the right follow-up. It wasn't that his idea was wrong, but the follow-up. Let's see.
And so can this bishop just keep blocking? Like if he goes queen a4 here, is this bishop just going to keep just shuffling its feet and playing defense?
So in this case, I would probably recommend the king go back. To your point, if the bishop shuffles, the queen wouldn't go all the way back. It would just go to b5. It'd actually be checkmate in one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
in this case, it's the king that's almost using the bishop like a shield. You know, your older brothers are chasing you around the table. You just go the opposite way that he goes.
Now, what just happened to the eval bar there? Why was that deemed? Like, where's the new life coming from here?
Basically, this position is one where the new life is coming from the fact that it's no longer checkmate, and the reality is starting to sink in that black does have a bishop. So it's not terrible. At this point, it's saying it's around equal. And why is that? Because white now has to bail out for a draw by giving check, 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 check. And here's the reality. Kyler can't do that based on the match. So this is now, despite the evaluation being even, this is actually back in Justin Herbert's favor because you can't make a draw given the match situation.
And this is a brutal place to be too, where if you're Kyler, look, your back rank checkmate is still in play. You haven't moved any of those pawns in front of the king. You wish you had time, but you really don't have the tempo to waste. And there you go. He tries to free up a spot. We'll see where this ends up going.
Yep. Yeah, after queen takes pawn, I think Justin's back in the driver's seat. Here, it's all about this move right here. Kyler Murray, he needs to find it.
Can he see it, give the check fork, and take the rook in the game? He has time.
Huge. If he doesn't play it, though, I'm very concerned for the position because the pieces are all starting to activate. And, you know, you miss this opportunity now, it might not come again.
Yeah, this is always something that's fascinating to me as well, is kind of trying to develop a sense of when are the real crux points of the game, right? Like, when is it okay? I'm relatively safe to kind of move fast out of things, but like, when do I need to stop, take time? Kyler seems to be sensing the moment. Like, he knows something is there. He just has to find it.
Yep.
Oh, but he can't.
He's right that something is there. He sees the rook, so you can tell that he's putting it just not all the way together. And why is this no good? Now the rook disappears. There's not really a possible checkmate that exists with the queen versus the king and bishop. So Kyler's going to have to rely on a mistake from his opponent here.
Yeah, and he's down about a minute and a half on the clock. And again, how kind of quick the fortunes can change here, given that Kyler seemed to have this game in hand. He had the opportunity, and now, like you said, it's converting. It's converting.
Look at
And
this. This is the draw that Kyler
yeah.
can't take, but I mean, the best move is to take it. So you see where the the gamesmanship comes in, and both players almost look like they know the reality is black is winning here if you don't take it, but if you take it, all of a sudden this match is going to be over in favor of Justin Herbert.
And look, Herbert knows it. He's feeling very confident. He's kind of giving the sly smirk there. Kyler's
Yep.
desperately trying to find a move to avoid repetition. You gotta love the effectiveness in kind of the later game of a pawn and bishop supporting each other. It's a beautiful
There you
thing.
go.
Damn.
It's a really interesting game we just saw because you actually called for one of the best moves in the position. Kyler played it. The reason I was suggesting something different was because it was guaranteed profit now, taking that
Yeah.
material. And instead, he went for something that was actually better, but needed more precision, and he didn't quite have it down the line. That's why the result goes in favor of Justin Herbert.
That's why chess is so beautiful, guys, right there. Because again, like I can't remember, what do they call it? Maybe like exponential geometric growth or whatever, a few moves in any game and there's more possibilities and there are like grains of sand on the earth and all those other, atoms in the universe. All those are the amazing stats that you hear. It's just, there's so much danger always lurking, so much possibility. And you see it right there into the winner's final. You have Mac Hollins and Justin Herbert. It's Patriots Chargers all over again. Wide receiver versus quarterback. And then we look at the losers quarterfinals. Kyler Murray and KJ Brett, who KJ Brett played very well. We didn't get eyes on Chaz that last time. But again, he's someone who is underrated here. He gave Kyler a great battle round number one. He's going to square up with the champ. And now it's up to Justin Reed to emerge out of these loser quarterfinals and try to challenge.
Exactly right. I mean, Justin Reed is going to have to get it done from the losers bracket. But the other difficult thing is that the pairing for Chaz is just so tough, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm in the losers bracket. Let me see if I work my way back up. Oh yeah, here's the two time for you. Let's see if you make it out of that.
Yeah, good luck. And hey, look, I want to offer a quick reminder for anyone trying to improve your game. The Chess.com spring sale is on. You can grab 50% off a premium membership through May 28th. You unlock unlimited puzzles, deeper lessons, game analysis you actually need to get better. All you got to do is head over to go.chess.com/spring sale 26, go.chess.com/spring sale 2026, or hit spring sale right there in the chat to lock in your half price membership before it's too late. Guys, it is absolutely worth it. Take advantage. We got more chess to come. Stick around. Blitz Champ 5 continues soon.
I've heard you're undefeated so far. So.
I am undefeated so far, but this is the founders match. So we're going to have a conversation because that's more important. So why did you start this and how did you come up with this whole idea?
It was honestly like during COVID, during that time where everyone's just kind of picking it up.
Yeah.
And I was playing a lot on Chess.com, so I really loved just being active on there. And little by little, I started to realize I want to play more in person.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go out, meet some more friends, and I just started to carry a chessboard around with me.
Okay.
And little by little, more people would just.
So you literally just started it with a chessboard and you.
Just one chessboard, going around, meeting some new friends, and anyone that I would talk to, I'm like, oh, do you play, by the way?
Yeah.
And we just started getting the game going. But over time, I really enjoyed traveling, so I went to like a small trip in Europe, went to like Italy, Rome, and I played everyone in chess there, and sometimes we didn't even speak the same language, so.
Yeah.
One of the favorite parts was that it's like a universal language.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of what has always called to me. And I've really enjoyed kind of meeting new people through it.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I decided I can just keep it small and have some friends in the area, or I can do something more. So I decided to create Traveling Chess Club.
And so you put these events on like once a month now?
So we do the big event once a month, and we have weekly events around the city. We're always doing something different. And now we have Dallas as well, so we're expanding, we're growing. It's
amazing. So, and the vibe you have here, I mean, obviously you said you got into chess around COVID. This is not the traditional chess club vibe.
Not at all, not at all.
So, I mean, first of all, that's amazing. That's one of the things about it that makes it great. So, like, was that the vision the whole time? Was just doing something doing something a little more modern, a little more whatever you want to call it. What would the kids call it? I'm not a cool kid.
I mean, I don't know. A few people have said it's making chess sexy.
Yeah, it makes chess sexy.
We're trying our best.
You need to have a best dressed award.
Hey,
there are some people here tonight that are like
beautiful people
that
tonight,
look sexy. I'm like, you need to have a best dressed award every night.
Thank you. We might have to. We might have to. But honestly, it's been a ride, and as the years have progressed, it's just grown and evolved. And meeting so many great people and having yourself over as well, it's been amazing.
Dude, it's amazing. Well, this is what the chess world needs more of. I'm sorry, I'm going to win your bishop. I'm sorry about that. And so what are the plans from here? So like, obviously it's grown from Isaac in a chess set to the sexiest chess club in the US. I mean, I'll say that, maybe the world, right?
Hey, maybe.
And so what are the plans beyond that? Are you going to keep growing it? Is there any kind of like, are you trying to keep it this vibe?
I'm losing everything.
You're losing it. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I distracted you.
No. Yeah, so I'm planning to keep growing. I want to have more events like this, and I personally love to go to all the big events. So recently, like I was at Freestyle in Las Vegas, USA versus India in Dallas, and I want to travel to more tournaments and participate as well. So my plan is not only to be involved in the community, but to have events in different
That's a great idea,
well.
especially if you go to places where there's already a big chess event happening. You schedule something like this, you're even more likely to get a great turnout. All right, I'll make it weird for us, just for fun, just so that we got some fun stuff happening. Well,
this is not fun.
Great.
This is not fun.
I'm sorry, fun for me. It's fun. It's fun type.
It's no
Danny's
longer
fun.
it's
Danny
no longer
type fun,
honestly.
But anyway, man, I'm honored to be here. I'm grateful that you have me, and thanks for what you do. Honestly,
no, thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna try to make this quick.
Yeah, please. I'm really suffering.
But you're kind of defending. So anyway, really, this is awesome, and it's amazing to see where chess has come. And dude, this is just such a cool thing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Oh my God, I'm just playing with them now, yeah. Oh my God, what she saying, say it loud, yeah. I can't respect it, I'm in the gym, but I am not flexing. Came from
the woodpecker method, because practice makes perfect.
Y'all, welcome back to BLITZCHAMPS 5 here on Chess.com. I'm your host, T-Bob Aber. We're joined by Amon Hamilton. We also got Cynthia Freeland. You're going to hear from Cynthia in a second. But first, if you're just joining us, we've had some great chess thus far. Let's get you updated on what has gone down. Here's a look at the bracket. We've already got the winners final. It's Mac Hollins versus Justin Herbert. Herbert maybe the most improved thus far. Cynthia, how are we feeling about today's action thus far? What can you tell us?
Well, are we going to get our first offensive winner? I mean, we've only had defensive winners for all 4 of the previous Blitz champs, and it looks like we could. I'm very curious to see how Mac Hollins will adapt to play Justin Herbert in this matchup because we've seen him kind of play to the level of his competition, and perhaps it's a little bit different now because you kind of seen a different sort of style each time. So I'm very curious to see how he adapts to Justin Herbert, who kind of seems to stay in the same style. So that's what I'm looking for in that. And then I'm just curious, will we get the Kyler, will we get the Justin Reed back in to be able to, keep control over who's been finishing first and second for the past two Blitz champs?
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. That's probably the major storyline to me thus far is you have the two-time champ Justin Reed getting upset there. He gets sent down to the losers, and of course, Kyler Murray, always the bridesmaid, not yet the bride, and yet once again finding himself in the bride's room, dragging the dress, helping out with the pictures. When's it going to be his day? Maybe today, but he's got to win some 3-minute chess if he's going to pull that off. Wait, guys, real quick. This just okay. So loser brag going to be at 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know anything from their profiles in terms of playing blitz or bullet? Who this would favor? Maybe who has the most experience in this position?
Yeah, I think the one thing to remember is what we've seen as a final, we might actually get a preview of in the losers bracket. Only one of those two between Kyler and Justin Reed is going to make it all the way now. I think in terms of the matchups that we do have ahead of us, Kyler against KJ, I think that matchup is kind of interesting because Kyler hasn't been playing at maybe his highest level that we've seen.
Yeah.
He needs to kind of overcome this adversity in the losers bracket in order to make it out. And this is a great test. It's a player that objectively he's favored against, but he's going to have to still elevate his level from what we've seen.
And I kind of wonder where Justin Reed's head is at right now, because as we said, coming into the tournament, he certainly had reason to feel the most confident. He seemed to be in the most comfortable environment in a lot of ways. And I don't know about you, Cynthia, but to me, it looked like he almost felt a bit surprised with what happened with him against Mac Hollins.
It did look like he was surprised, especially because, the level of play we've seen from Justin Reed is kind of the level that you would imagine for a real chess player, not just a football chess player. It's surpassed what you think of for most people. So he got a little bit, maybe a little bit shocked by that one, and maybe he'll refocus and maybe that will help him sharpen the pencil here and get back to the test.
And again, so we've never had an offensive winner here. And so Kyler and Herbert and Hollins. So are we 3v3 here? Am I crazy? Right? Are we perfectly split down the middle?
That's right. Yeah, I like that. That's a good way to describe it. And there's the difference though is there's a guaranteed offensive player that's going to be making it into the finals. So the offensive side does have that, but you have potentially the favorite coming out of losers bracket, and with a chip on his shoulder, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of coaching, I'm trying to look up right now who everybody's worked with. Justin Reed's worked with James Canty in the past. You got to imagine those lessons are going to be bouncing around in his head at this point. All right, I just got the word, guys. Chess is underway. Cynthia, thank you so much. We'll check back in with you in a little bit. Aman, let's dive onto the field of 64 and see who will be crowned champ here in Blitz Champs 5. All right, already Herbert and Mac Hollins underway.
Yeah, we are getting into things here. And I think the most crucial thing about this matchup right here is, if I'm being honest with you, I think it could be a bad stylistic matchup for Mac. And I say that because we've seen from Justin Herbert is sort of this sort of universal style. I think he really has been playing well. Mac can take anyone out. I really believe it. I've worked with Mac a little bit before. I rate his chances in general very high, but I don't know that this style is the best for him. It's really solid. And I feel like Herbert is not going to leave things loose. So I'm curious to see how this plays out because Mac probably does a little bit better when things are a little crazier.
Look at this. Nobody taking any time at all, immediately trading pieces. We're simplifying a bit. I imagine both guys going to get castled up here. Do you think we see a queen trade before? Okay, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. So no castle. What did I miss there? Could he take him with the bit? He's just going to slow castle. He'll just patiently work his way over.
Yeah, and you know what? He doesn't even have to. I would argue that the king almost sits better smack in the middle of the board because
Oh, wow.
we are towards an end game now, and you can see the evaluations almost creeping back up closer to equal when the king went and castled properly. It's counterintuitive. Queens are off the board. The king in the middle actually acts as a defensive piece, supporting everything.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Because yeah, I mean, you eventually want to activate that king into the game. That becomes a very powerful piece, and he had the opportunity to kind of have an advantage in that sense. Man, we are trading down here. We're going to see little in-game mastery. Who can do the calculations?
Yep. And this was, I think so far, it's a little bit what I was concerned about just from that matchup perspective for Mac, that it's been a really solid game, trading down, very fundamental. But the difference is slight deficiency in terms of the pawns and in terms of the
Mhm.
number as well. There's one extra for Herbert here. And think about the time. There's still 4 minutes on the clock for both. Like, we've literally taken the name to another level. Blitz champs. We blitzed all the way to the end of this game, and the guys still have so much time left.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I mean, you play enough games at this level, and look at Mac already getting his king out there, and now kind of inviting or Herbert kind of trying to coax him into maybe taking and allowing him to do the same here.
Hmm.
Um, mm,
Yeah, if you just count up those pawns, technically what Mac is doing here is ill-advised because you don't want to trade down, because if you think about trading everything equal, Black's going to have one extra pawn at the end. Now, just because of how advanced this king is, I can see this working out for Mac, but it shouldn't. This should be, chess fundamentals. Black has an extra pawn. T-Bob, this should be a win for Justin. But pawn endgames are where I can guarantee you we will
I mean,
not see things played properly.
like you might as well throw the evaluation bar out the window because it is going to swing wildly from here on out. I think one of
Yep.
my favorite quotes ever. I don't know who said it, but it's something like, play the opening like a book, the middle like an artist, and the end game like a computer. And these guys are
Yes.
going to be testing the limits of their mental capacity, trying to
So
suss
I
out
have
all
a
the elements of
variation for
play.
you. I have a
Okay.
variation, and let's just say you keep shuffling here. There's this idea where if you capture the wrong way here, you can actually make this weird breakthrough
Oh,
where you get your
wow.
one guy. It's almost like laying the right blocks down for the running back, and you can get
Wow.
your guy all the way home. Now, obviously, seeing that is going to be a whole other story, but it's on the board.
But
It's
he set up.
possible
It's
in the
all
position.
oh, he missed it. It was right. That's crazy. I mean, it was almost like a counterplay in football. The running back jabs right, but he's coming back left with a pulling guard. He just didn't execute.
That would have
Oh,
been an
man.
unbelievable find. I'll just say that that's, I would say, more of an advanced idea, but still, it was on the board, and it just goes to show never give up.
Well, and here's the thing that I would say, Mon, and again, this is easy to say as someone sitting here watching and observing. I feel like Matt could have used a little more time there, maybe, right? Because you
Everyone could
simplified
have.
so
You're
early
100%
on.
right.
Yeah,
Yes.
like these guys they've kind of kept the pace from that opening, despite the fact that the stakes are much, much higher now.
Yep. So White's going to come in here. I don't know if we're going
Oof.
to take this pawn. I suspect that he will, but this pawn is going to go all the way. I was going to say the question is the king going to go support it? And he does. Let's see the technique now. What you want to do as Black is actually 100% abandon this pawn, and that's what he's going to do. That's the decoy pawn, and you take everything else.
And this is what I love, dude. The kings in the end game, they go from this lumbering, just fat guy, and just suddenly they draw their swords and they're just slaughtering bodies all around them. Look at Herbert; he's got the man. He's going to push through here. I mean, maybe look if you're Mac, I think you don't give up. Again, not in this level. Not when people can make mistakes. Maybe there's still some sort of stalemate or something in your future, and it
Yep.
looks like Mac's at least going to stick with that.
Yeah, you definitely play this out, but here's the thing. Both of these players, maybe not anymore for Justin Herbert, but they should use more time. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. They're playing too quickly, and there were big opportunities missed for both of them.
Yeah, and that's there you see the king escorting the pawn. One of the great feelings when you get that king to either the second or seventh rank, and okay, it's good now. There's nothing my opponent can do.
And there you go. That is a first game victory there for Justin Herbert, and things just simplified down. And that one pawn, when you win it in the beginning of the game, it honestly feels like nothing. But when you get to the end of the game, whoever has one extra pawn feels like a king.
It all starts up front. Battle of the trenches, man. That's football 101 right there. You see it on board or here on the board as well. All right, what are we working with KJ Britt and Kyler Murray here?
I just thought
Pretty
I'd bring us
even
over.
game still.
Yeah, this is a loser's bracket, but I really wanted to get a look at KJ because I think this is a potential matchup that he can upset. We know Kyler's a favorite, but he's a little bit vulnerable right now. And KJ, I'm telling you, if you count up the pawns, it's all Kyler. But if you look at the position, look at how many pieces are mobilized. Look at the open lines that the pieces have towards Kyler's king. There's an element of danger here as well.
Yeah, Kyler's and now he's not going to be able to develop still. He's going to have to protect this queen. Kyler's queen side of the board there just kind of jammed up, kind of being lazy a little bit, not doing much.
Spectators, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, what
He's
did
not in the
what did the my old coach used to say? Look, if you want to watch, buy a ticket. Okay, like those guys, they got to get active feet. They got to start making some plays out there now.
Exactly. Keep the feet moving. They're looking stationary there. This queen is moving nonstop. But finally, I think it's come to an end. And it's sort of like the music has stopped. And KJ, what do you got for us?
Okay, there you go. Freeing up a little. Well,
Good reaction. It's going to force that knight backwards. I can't see another way to keep it going.
So in my mind, I'm like
spot.
panicking just about like, I just want to get those pieces out. So I'm feeling them jammed up. I'm like, okay, I'm going to kick the knight. Let's bring the bishop out or the knight. Who cares? If he wants to trade knights, that's perfect. I'll get it capture with the bishop, connect the rooks.
Yep.
And now
this
we're
is a moment where if you're eager to get the bishop out, boom, the rook comes down and takes one of those pawns that was so hard earned. So this is a critical moment. He's probably realizing he's going to have to take in a more cumbersome way.
And so that bishop now still kind of jammed up, but I doubt that KJ is going to be able to keep him contained for too long.
And I think we could say, Kyler's looking good in game number 1, but just with the speed of that last game, I'm going to bring us back to our marquee, our featured matchup here because these guys move so quick, T-Bob. Like, I feel like we could watch that game for another minute and this one could end.
And that was a hallmark of Kyler in last year's tournament as well. I remember him getting into some time issues, but he is a bit more of a deliberate player. Whereas Hollins and Herbert, perhaps they play a ton of bullet because, they are flying through some of this early game.
Yep. So we have something in chess called opposite bishops here. And most people think that means the game is very likely to be a draw just because they don't attack the same squares. So they kind of just ships in the night. They go around each other. But the reality is when there's more pieces on the board involving queens, for example, then usually whoever's on the attack, it almost feels like you have an extra piece because you're attacking things your opponent can't defend. So I'm just waiting to find out who's going to be on the attack, who sort of sets things in motion first. If we see F4, F5 by white, maybe it's Justin. But for the moment, Max got a great position. This is better than last game, and he needs to win it.
This is also one of those, though, where like it's so hard for me to see the path forward. So I'm just thinking, okay, stick to my fundamentals.
Yep.
Sometimes it's almost like I probably almost to my deficit, but it's like I want to play just a bit conservative and see if my opponent will make a mistake.
Oh, this is a huge move from Mac. I'm actually just going to take us back one move, T-Bob, and just show the vision. Talk about Justin Herbert, quarterback position, C4. If the pawn was taken, don't mind me just giving up another pawn in the middle of the board. I don't care how you take it. Checkmate all the way over here.
Wow.
Long range. That's what he was setting up there. And Mac went and stopped it, whether he saw it or not. But just to show how cool that was that he even set that up. And guess what? He still got the same idea here.
Now, does the knight on F5 protect now? Like, is the threat fully gone, or is it
fully gone? But the knight can be removed, right? This is not a permanent piece, so you have to watch out for a crazy move like G4. But you're right, Mac has actually set himself up beautifully to handle this, and I'm going to give Mac some credit here. He might spy this idea because he's not taking this pawn that would normally be free.
Yeah, I kind of love it too because that checkmate from Herbert would have been the equivalent of like a deep post, like 65-yard touchdown.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
look the safety off. You beautiful ball down the middle, and all of a sudden the game's over.
Yeah, 100% right. And
Now,
now
what is Matt gonna do with this queen?
it almost feels like anywhere you go, there's a follow-up knight move that's also going to hit you. So you're kind of thinking this move, but also next move as well. The knight wants to go there. So maybe I would consider moving the queen somewhere that's a little bit away from that next knight move, but that involves thinking ahead.
That bro, and I mean, again, at lower levels, knights are terrifying.
They are.
They're just math madmens that break your brain trying to figure out where they're going next. And exactly what you said, Amon. Here we go. The follow up, still
Yep.
attacking.
Yep, and the knight might want to grab this pawn now on c6. That would be, a free pawn for the moment. Still, I believe Mac has more than enough. The interesting thing about this game, there's so many more pieces on the board. Time usage is more in this game, the entire last game combined. So these guys are really thinking about this one.
Yeah, and I mean it makes sense here. Maybe in game one you're playing a little fast and loose, and each game takes on a life of its own, right? And so you kind of get sucked into the rhythm of your opponent. You're like, oh, you're moving fast, I'm going to move fast,
Yep.
and now both knowing, okay, this is going to decide who goes to the finals. We got to really lock it in here, and as you can see, Herbert trying to suss out the path forward, and the eval bar not agreeing with that one.
No, because the recapture here, which is the expected move, now
Yeah.
hits that pawn that the knight hit on the last turn, as well as the knight here. So you have a double attack that
Oof.
almost Justin Herbert created for you.
Damn. Now, do you think Max sees all of that? Do you think he sees all the elements at play here? I guess
It's
we're going to find
interesting,
out here in a
yeah.
minute.
The one thing is his last move was knight here. So I want to think that that was his target. So from
Yeah.
that perspective, the fact that the bishop is joining, even if he misses it, what he might do next is move his queen to actually threaten it, and then it will still be hanging from the move prior. So it's like if he attacks
Yeah.
it 3 times, it'll still be attacked.
If you're Herbert, what is your best path forward now that you've kind of put yourself into a little bit of a bind?
Look, I can't lose that knight, so I have to bring it back. That's
Okay.
just that's a
Here we go.
no-go. I must do that. I want to slide my queen over, probably no matter what, whether the queen joins the attack or not. The bishop is doing a great job for Mac because it's keeping both of these pieces just hemmed in, right? There's no pawn push in the center. This is so much potential that's just trying to get through the position, like a running back just looking for that gap.
Yeah. It's like a big nose guard just plugging the hole. You can't move. Everybody's jammed up backfield. Now, was there a great difference between okay, yeah, because you just mentioned what the bishop is doing, so knight
Yep.
takes there the best path.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And now I would say sliding the queen onto that same line as the king, very dangerous. If you put the queen up, it looks so aggressive, but you allow a queen trade, and the position is so dangerous for white. I think black wants the queens on the board. The second that you have a moment to yourself, retreat that knight out, and then the king is going to feel it.
Yeah, and there it is right there. Line up, point your queen at the king. It's simple, basic play. You've got a discovered pin in
Yep.
play here.
Oh, great move. And look, this is what I was saying, T-Bob, about Mac. He wasn't feeling that end game, everything traded. He's more of an attacker. He wants pieces on the board. This is a little bit more his style. It's a full style
Look at
matchup.
the fork.
Knight
He
E2.
didn't see it, dude.
He didn't
Oh, will
see
he
it,
see it?
but there is a queen.
Oh, never
loose
mind.
in
Never
the
mind.
back. No,
Yeah.
it's still good. It's still good because you'll pick up that queen for free and you'll take the bishop at the end. But he's got a choice to make. There's
What
so
if-
many paths forward. He could take
Hmm.
knight e2. He could try to bring that rook down. He could take this pawn. There's so many ways to continue. Spoiled for choice, but he finds the fork.
He finds the fort,
Nice.
takes, take back the bishop. Now you have the advantage. Just go
Exactly.
convert.
Oh,
Let's go
this
convert,
has
Mac.
been a really classy game so far, but you mentioned it. Hardest part upcoming, converting.
Go convert and you'll tie, and we'll have a winner take all matchup to try to go to the BlitzChamps 5 finals. It's tense. you're under a minute for each guy now. They know what's on the line. You can see Mac wanting to take his time. I actually love this.
Mm-hmm.
But don't take too much time.
Yeah. We love it, but just a little.
Take your time, but don't take too much time. It's like
I
forgetting
like this
Sir
move, clearing that square for the knight, because guess what? Easiest path forward when you're up material is to trade material.
Yep.
Take everything off that's equal, knight for knight, rook for rook if you could. Extra bishop is a piece of cake for Mac. And he's bringing the rook. He's targeting. He's doing all the things right so far. And also, he's got the time edge. So Mac, he's putting himself in a position to win this one.
Yeah, and this is another thing. Like you said, you could incentivize like trading down, like you said, simplifying. You don't have time, but also like at this point, you have a little bit of a time advantage, just making solid moves, right? Just solid moves is not going to give up your advantage and make your opponent answer the call.
Here we go. B5.
Look at that.
Gets rid of pawns. Simplification. More things that can be taken. More simplification.
But this is one of those moments where sometimes you can get a little.
Oh, it's already a
little
there.
Fancy. Like, watch that time. They got to make sure that they're watching the time. Both guys are at risk here.
I wasn't sure if Mac, with how long he was taking, didn't see that rook hanging. I thought that he was going to move the king. I was already thinking of the next knight move, but Mac, a second ahead of everybody there. He takes his time in a critical moment. He trades the pieces. He locks the king down. Let's see the conversion, because it's been perfect so far.
And this might be a moment where does Herbert just enter flag mode, just pre-moving pieces back and forth and hoping that Mac, oh, wow, look at that.
Respect resignation, but at the same time.
Yes, the man in class. Shout out to Justin Herbert, not going for the greasy blitz techniques there.
I don't know what to do.
That's great. I'm telling you, Herbert's really, he's a purist. You know, you got me on the board, you got me. Let's get to the last game in action. Kyler Murray putting the finishing touches on this game. I actually caught this one just on the corner of my eye earlier. KJ Britt was dead winning this position, and he lost his entire queen. We'll stick with the action right now, but there's a big moment actually where it switched, and Kyler is now completely winning this game. It's going to be checkmate.
Absolutely insane to me that you managed to keep track of all of this action while also calling the game. Of course, you know, that's why you're GM. So this one's a matter of time here.
It's actually a matter of just one more move, and you can even pre-move this, which means it would happen.
There's
no
nothing
matter what
that can
white
be done.
does. Yeah, it can work no matter what, and I think we will
There
see
it
that
is.
from Kyler. And if I can, I just want to go back just to that moment, because what a showing it was from KJ. It was right here. He did everything right. He actually moved his queen up, because T-Pop, he was saying, look, I got an extra bishop. Let me trade. But in doing so, he would have got himself mated, and it's just so unfortunate.
No. And
He had to go down the queen, and I really feel for him, because he truly did it all right. He looked for trades when he was up. That would have sent him to a tiebreak, but Kyler takes advantage of that error and then takes the match.
Yeah, I mean, that's playing fundamentally, but it's just like the danger was lurking a bit too deep for him to suss out. And that's all. I mean, patterns, like, I mean, knowing like when your king's behind the two pawns like that, and the back rank checkmate's also in play, like that all just comes with time. And even then you still end up missing it all the time for me. Again. So shout out to Kyler Murray. Survive and advance. Kyler doing exactly what he needed to do. He what is going on in Reed Surratt?
So I believe that one ended. I think Reed got that one. He won his matchup.
Okay.
You know, and I can say really, I think Chaz, I clocked it in that very first round. His rating was 400. I promise you, he was probably about double that strength coming into this event. He is definitely stronger than that 400 rating. I thought he had a great showing. He was up against some of the literal toughest opponents, literally the two-time defending champion, as well as, you know, I think he was up against, was it Mac? Like, he really had some tough pairings.
Yeah, so great on Chaz. Would love to see him back again. He doesn't have many problems. So he's a Super Bowl champ. So, you know, he's not sweated too much. He'll use that psycho competitiveness to come back even stronger next year to Blitz Champs. And so now we have Reed and Murray advancing. So once again, these two that have done battle so many times before will fight for a chance to go to the finals. But first, we're about to be treated to that most wonderful of chess tournament situations where we got Herbert and Matt Collins. They're tied 1-1, winner take all. Let's go to the finals. Let's win some money for our charity, guys.
And you know what, T-Bob, to determine the colors, maybe at this level, you think it doesn't matter too much, but still, you have to take it seriously.
Yeah.
White and black, it's actually by accuracy. So how accurately the players played. And then what happens is, I think it was determined by like 0.1 or something.
No way.
So Mac is white. Yeah. So we're going to pull that game up. But
yeah,
Mac
production, if we
0.1.
have... Yeah, if we have the accuracy scores, just feed them in my ear. I'll relay them because that's fantastic. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Cynthia, just heard you in my ear. What do you see? How about that action that we've been witnessing? Absolutely fantastic. The stars are starting to shine here. What do you thought about the most recent rounds of action?
I mean, I'm just looking back at some of the opens because we didn't see much of the Justin Reed action in his win to get himself back in the situation to again face Kyler Murray. But I know the opens for him are a really interesting, different from the other guys. And Aman, I would love for you to talk to us through that just a little bit more because it's so important, especially with this time frame, to be able to get the game going strong. We've clearly seen it in the Hollins and Herbert matchup as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And the thing about starting out with a certain opening is it's comfort. You know exactly how your first 5 to 10 moves are going to look, almost regardless of what your opponent does. And for that reason, there is this sense of, oh, I can play very quickly. It might look like I'm just freestyling it, but no, it's because I've actually played maybe hundreds, thousands of games, this exact same start. And that, I think, is giving him that extra time advantage at the beginning. And it's contributing to some of those early leads. Now, ironically, I think when he matched up against Mac, we kind of saw the opposite. Mac also has his way of starting that he's used to. And that's where you see that clash when two players have a certain system that they always start with. Sometimes you just do it regardless. And sometimes they don't match up very well for one person.
Very same in football, right?
Yeah.
Like exactly. Football matchup makes for fights, right?
Now, what about this, Amon? When let's say like me and Cynthia, we're lower level chess players, we're starting out. When you talk about where should I be spending my time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you want to have some conception of the open, but at the same time, it's probably fruitless for me to like dive too deep into variations and these extensions because I need work on like the fundamentals. So how do I allocate my time if I'm looking to climb and get on some of these players' levels?
Well, the first thing you have to remember is if you spend your time at the beginning trying to learn moves in the opening, your opponents, they're not going to play them. So there's no point in trying to learn them because they're not going to be on that page either. So much more important to think fundamentals, general principles that are always true or mostly true, and try to apply those. Taking the center is a great one, and we've seen that from some of the best players in this event.
Okay, and here we are. Oh, sorry, Cynthia, go ahead.
No, I just was going to ask Aman if, the Herbert Hollins matchup, when you talk about the time there, would you say if I'm Justin Herbert, I won the fast game, do you try to play fast again? Or do you wait it out? And how do you what's the gamesmanship there?
I think the time might favor Mac, just it getting lower on time. But one thing that we've seen in terms of the styles that won both of those is the aggressive, kind of all out, many pieces on the board style was a victory for Mac. And the trade down, end game grind, sort of positional aspect was more in Justin's favor. So I think play to your style more than play to the clock.
And so here we are, game 3's underway. An idea that made sense there to me, the eval. Oh, and that's why the eval bar didn't love it. There it is, dude.
Yeah, I was going to mention that you could actually have, and Mac is going to take this queen early on here. You could have actually played a move to defend that bishop, which was forked. He actually chose not to because he recognized this tactic existed. You asked me, T-Bob, where should you spend your time? Tactics are not only fun to do, but they're so much more fun when you get them in an actual game. And this looks like a tactic I bet Mac has probably drilled himself before, and it's just so rewarding to get it in an actual game that matters.
Oh, it's got to feel so good, dude. You lay the snare there on the ground and your opponent steps right into it. Next thing you know, they're caught. Herbert feels helpless now. Max feeling confident. The world is his oyster. You're a queen up. There's just
Yep.
you can do anything at this point.
And actually, Cynthia, to your point about the clock, if I'm Justin Herbert, I am praying because the clock is my only friend now. That's all. That's my only win condition. So I would absolutely ramp up the speed because I know that I just don't really have any other win condition. I'm missing my queen. I have to use the clock to my advantage.
Mac taking even a little bit more time than I thought it would, being a little judicious. I mean, to me, I just thought he was going to go knight c6. Let's just keep trading, keep this thing going. Oh,
Yep.
and here instead, moving in, there we go. The rook's going down.
I was going to say Justin Herbert's actually setting something up. He's doing it at the cost of, let's just say, every single one of his pieces, but he has an idea here. And let's just say it's not over till it's over. I want to see how Mac handles this threat because there is a bishop lurking aimed directly at the king. But unfortunately for Justin Herbert, that move is just way too powerful. Wow.
And it looks like her. I mean, again,
Yep.
once you, yeah, we talked about 1-7 clear. We talked about maintaining your composure, but again, going a queen down right at the beginning in a match with this much on the line,
Yep.
it's almost one of those where you're just so deflated. Okay, you got to watch. Now the mental test for Herbert's going to be with his next opportunity that he has to play to maintain that composure, kind of clear this one, flush it, and then move on.
That's right. So here, if the king goes to the corner, we might see the knight return. Everything that we're talking about here is through the lens of Mac is 100% winning this game. You look at the amount of pieces remaining, there's just 3 of them. If I'm playing in Mac's shoes here, well, he wouldn't have any on, but if I was playing in Mac's shoes here, I would probably take these pieces off the board for just about anything I have, because I promise you I'll have something left over.
Yeah, so like this is a time where if you want to trade like bishop for rook, that's fine, or rook for bishop, that's fine because
Yep.
you have so much to work with.
Exactly. And here he's getting the best trade of all. I highly recommend for anyone. That's where you get something and you don't lose anything. That's the best trade you can look for. And look at that. Takes the win after an opening tactic. Mac Hollins 2-1 over Justin Herbert. But we might see this matchup again.
I almost blew it.
I'm trying to hear what he's saying there. Mac's been training in secret.
And I was like, see what I can.
Yeah.
See what I can
Yeah,
throw.
I'm telling you, Mac. I know that he can absolutely clutch up an event like this. He's been toe to toe with the winner in previous years. But love to eavesdrop here.
Okay, so well, we did no. I look, don't worry, producers, I got it. Next time, because they've done this twice now. At the end of the match, next time on, we're gonna shut up because they are Mac and Herbert they're getting a little bit of talk going immediately after the match, and so we'll give him a chance to speak a little bit. I know at the end of the last game, Mac was talking about how boxed in he was feeling. All right, let's jump over to Kyler Murray, Justin Reed. They've battled for championships before. They're squaring up once again. Amon, take us to it.
Yeah, looking for that game right now. It looks like I don't see it at the moment here, but it is going on. So that's
all right.
Is it Reed and Murray?
Yeah, so we still got Justin Reed and Kyler Murray. They're about to go down. They're in the losers finals. And now the winner of that, if we can reset the bracket here, yes. So you have and then Justin Herbert getting knocked out by Mike Hollins. He goes down to losers final. The winner of Murray Reed will play Herbert. The winner of that will get to challenge Mac Hollins, and then the winner of that we crown BLITZCHAMPS 5 champion.
Yes, you have Justin Herbert waiting in the losers final. He is going to be a formidable opponent, but I think that losers semifinal just being that sort of the repeat final matchup, it's almost a shame we'd see it so early, but there's so much other new talent this year, improved talent from previous years.
And now Justin Reed, the sole hope for the defense. as
That's a good point.
we are closing in on our first ever offensive winner here on Blitz Champs 5. We'll be getting you that matchup soon. This has been a ton of fun, guys. Remember the spring sale going on right now, Chess.com. I cannot recommend the membership enough. I think now I basically get paid to do this in Chess.com premium subscriptions, but I paid for years on my own because it's well worth it. You get unlimited puzzles, great lessons. And I believe now we are in to Murray Reed. I think game 2. If I'm reading the scoreboard connection, it looks like Kyler Murray with the 1-0 lead. We're waiting on Reed to make the first move. Amon, what do you okay, your read here. You have white, you're down, you have to win. What are you telling yourself mentally to prepare
I
for
mean,
this?
I'm probably looking at that last couple of years of Blitz Champs trophies on the wall, just reminding myself who I am. Right, this is not a place that's going to be unfamiliar for him. So I don't think you're too concerned there. I think he's a confident player. He's been taken out by Kyler just in one game, but that's what the comeback is for.
Yeah, and I kind of love this matchup too because safety, one of the more cerebral positions defensively in the NFL, and so here you have quarterback kind of quarterback of the offense and the safety, the quarterback of the defense going toe to toe. And let's remember what's at stake here, guys. Competing for the charities of their choice, and as you see here, you got Justin Herbert doing it for the dogs. Pause for Life, Canine Rest. You got Justin Reed for the J. Reed and D Foundation, which helps underprivileged kids get opportunities and other situations they may not. The Kyler Murray Foundation, very similar. And then, of course, the infamous Free the Feet Foundation from Matt Hollins. Free the Feet feeling very strong right now as they have guaranteed themselves at least 20K, right? Yeah, we got the 100K prize pool. Winner gets 30, second place gets 20. So shout out to the Free the Feet Foundation.
That's right.
And we'll see. And shout out to all the players. Again, Surratt, Fields, Britt, Adebo. Everybody goes home on winner day. Everybody's charity taking a little something home.
Yep. And I think we are back on the game here. I see it is game number 2, like you mentioned.
Okay,
Kyler grabbing that initial one. So we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and just a repeat of finals past. This is such a crucial one, but it's in that shorter time control. 3-minute. Kyler got the first one. Pressure on the defending champion to win on demand, which is a tough thing to do.
And early on here, why did the eval bar like this be getting so much from white? Is it as simple as the doubling pawns there? What is white's advantage in this position?
It's actually, it is the double pawns, but it's a deeper read on those double pawns. It's this bishop. It doesn't have any future here. And if you go back to try to get it out, well, guess what?
Got nothing.
That pawn is stuck, and then the pawn in front of it's blocking it. So this is a bishop that I promise you will not be a part of this game until a lot later, if at all. So it's almost as if Justin Reed is up a piece without being up a piece.
Damn, the bishop just completely boxed in, double teamed like a star wide receiver.
Oh, look at this, though. This is a mistake. And why is it a mistake? Because you allow a tactical solution. Bishop takes pawn and say, I'll give up this bishop because it's worthless anyway. And then I would actually be able to take that bishop on a6. So I still think that there's some life here for Kyler, but that bishop is not in the game as of yet.
Interesting there, Reed moving that bishop back. Maybe he sensed it, not exactly sure. Everybody playing a little nervy right now, right? Like nobody trying to make the big error, just trying to kind of make simple moves that are going to stick to their fundamentals. Let's not leave anything hanging, and let's see who's going to make the big first error.
Yep, that's a great way to put it. And G5. So, I mean, kind of going all in on the king side here. And the reason that I just would caution against that for Justin is we don't have to. That's all. It's not that what he's doing is wrong. It's that I'd prefer to maybe see the rest of the development, maybe castle, get the rest of the pieces in. But if you're looking at his actual moves, they're fantastic. He's pushing the pieces around. Looks like he's going to win material. Just want to make sure he doesn't forget about the rest of his army.
Justin moving really fast right now.
Ooh, he is dominating this game. If you look at the actual raw material count, he's got an X for rook. If you look at the material count and we value this bishop at nearly 0, he's up a
Yeah.
rook and a bishop.
Yeah, up a couple of pieces. I don't even know what the path forward for that bishop would be. Like you said, it's long term if it's anything at all. You think he should just move and threaten the queen there on G1?
Yeah, involve that rook into the game, and probably the last, finishing touches that you need are bring your queen in. Whether that is bringing the queen in over here and just winning that bishop outright, or sneaking the queen up and into this side of the board. Oh, it's almost this check that wins the queen here. However, this, I'll just put it on the board, check can be met by this
Just
queen
block.
move.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's nervy. That's a nervy moment. I don't know if he saw that, but he's safe.
Oh, by the skin of his teeth, barely staying safe here. Now, we talk about pieces being trapped. The white bishop in a, or excuse me, yeah, the white bishop, the dark bishop, in a somewhat similar position, but does he have more of a path forward eventually?
Yes, in the sense
Dropping
that,
behind that queen, maybe supporting.
yeah, I would actually like the bishop where the queen is, if I'm being honest
Yeah.
with you. But yes, it has a path forward because white's pawns are mobile. I can play
Okay.
f3. I can play b5. I can create my own path. Black has no way to create a path.
And there it is. We see the check
Ooh.
come into play.
Oh my goodness. This could be a huge mistake, actually. It's probably going to be okay, but I see 2 moves. Knight takes check and queen into d3 check. There is a way to lose this game in just a couple of moves.
Hanging in the balance, a valiant response here from
Mhm.
Kyler Murray, kind of just inching, fighting, kind of like tooth and nail, making Reed not get too comfortable here, making him have to take some time, making him have to think. However, Murray's clock getting a little low here.
If he goes to the left, I think all good. He goes to the right, all bad. This move makes or breaks this entire match right here, and he makes the correct one. Yep, this
And
is the right call.
so,
Safety.
because he has room to run.
That's right. That's right. That's a good way to think of it. Football turn. You go this way, there's traffic. This way, it's your own guys. You got your blockers in front of you.
Yeah, go behind the friendly confines of your own line there.
Queen
And
E2.
again, Kyler getting very low on time. Reed with the advantage on the board, the advantage on the clock. Looking like Reed is going to force yet another game 3 here, dude. Excellent stuff.
Yeah, and this is a tough spot. I understand why Kyler's spending the time. It's not really his fault. It's just the position is not one you can really continue from because your knight's attacked, and if you move it, there's checkmate to follow. And he's only got 7 seconds. No, I don't see a solution to that problem.
Yeah, and also this is one of the more, and maybe it's an element of the time control being down to 3 minutes here, but one of the more kind of complicated positions with this little time left on the clock that I had seen thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 1-1. We are going to get a tie break in this one. So looking forward to that. We'll have to get the accuracies as well for that one to see who gets the white and black pieces. But just what you'd expect from your defending champ, not going down without some extra time, some more chess.
Yeah, again, for those that maybe don't know the Blitz Champs histories, these are 2 players that the last 2 versions of Blitz Champs met in the finals, finished first and second. For Kyler, even if maybe his future doesn't involve him lifting this trophy, because there's still a lot of chess left to play, It would be sweet to get the revenge on the man who had stopped you the 2 times previous. He's now going to have that opportunity. As you said, we'll check the accuracy scores to see who's white, who's black, but I really, I cannot wait to see who's going to have the mental fortitude to rise to the occasion here in the deciding game.
Yeah, and it really is something I feel that Kyler's been working towards. Like, I don't think that he sort of has a a dartboard with Reed on it, that type of thing. But I really think this is a hump he's trying to get over. This is someone that he believes he can take out, and now it's just about proving it. He nearly got it done in regulation, so to speak, and it looks like Kyler Murray is going to be that more accurate player. The preliminary analysis.
Damn.
Yep. And so he will have the white pieces. And considering that Justin and Kyler both won their games with white, maybe a bigger deal than we think.
Yeah, that's always one of the kind of funny things to me is like you play a game and let's say you win and you felt like, oh man, I was so creative that game and I could feel my opponent. I put him in blenders and then it was like I was 400 and he was 350. Like I was like 60% accuracy and he was like 55. And then you lose another one in which you were fantastic, but it's just the nature of the beast. Look at Reed though. Reed definitely wins for setup. He's
100%.
got
been
the
winning
coolest
for
office
years.
setup we've seen. Yes, dude.
I'm
Even down-
going to give some credit, though, to Kyler. He's on a different setup here than I remember from previous Blitz Champs, and his setup is usually up there, decked out. He is a gamer for sure. So it usually looks a little more lit up than this. This almost looks like he's building, perhaps, a new and improved one.
Yeah, and this makes sense. You know, moving to Minnesota, new team now, and you can see the Heisman Trophy pictures there in the background. All right, it's time. It started. Let's go. Blitz Champs 5 to decide who advances, who gets knocked out. Game number 3, Justin Reed, Kyler Murray.
Let's take a look here. This is what we call an open Sicilian. So e4, c5, but then open, meaning that you actually get this exchange of pawns here immediately. Combative. We see the bishop attacked here, and this move really invites maybe further attacks. You want to put your pieces in the center, but usually not if they can just get kicked around by your enemy pawns.
At this level, Amon, and look at that already.
Oh my goodness, he blundered it. The game's going to end.
Dude.
The game's over.
No, just like that, Justin. Wait, does he say anything?
Goodness.
Is his mic open? Oh no, dude! Look at him. He knows it. Kyler, he's so happy. He slayed the dragon.
Blender. Hey, congrats, my boy. You deserve it.
Good game, bro.
P.S. Amon, I don't know who you're coaching, Amon, but stop telling them all my moves. Stop telling them all that because people had a plan for me this year.
Amon, is this true? Have you been working against Justin Reed in the shadows?
I really haven't.
I have not. I did work with Mac previously, and I was probably a couple years back when we were doing the most. So that we probably did try to do some deep dives on someone like Justin Reed, who's front runner to win it all. But I haven't been working with anyone specifically this year, so I'm off the hook. But I'm telling you, Justin Reed going down like this as a champ, that is a crazy end to this one, T-Bob. I can't believe it. But how about the sportsmanship there at the end? Giving the flowers over, and it is a competition, rivalry, but friendly at the end of the day.
Yeah, you love to see it, man. And so just like that, the two-time defending champ Justin Reed out. It's going to be Herbert and Kyler Murray, a couple of quarterbacks in the losers final. They're going to be trying to battle the wide receiver in Matt Hollins. We got plenty more chess to get to, plenty more points to make. But right now, I want to remind you guys, look, if you love chess, you're a chess nerd, well, what do you need, right? You want to upgrade your look off the board. The all-new Chess.com Essentials Collection is officially live. This is our ultimate low-profile kit, okay? You think like premium tees, heavy hoodies, clean snapbacks, zero loud graphics. A little subtlety goes a long way. It's high-quality, minimalist, stealth mode for your wardrobe, as you can let your moves do the talking. All you got to do is head over to chess.com/shop merch. Wow, that's like kind of a tongue twister. Chess.com/shop merch, or just hit the merch in the chat to claim your new favorite. You see the pictures there. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Blitz Champs 5. We're down to 3. Just like that. Who will be crowned champion? Stick around. We got plenty more action coming up. Shout out Chess.com. Shout out Blitz Champs.
What's up, y'all? This is Chittle Bear. I was here, otherwise known as Cheeto, here with big brothers and big sisters and Chess.com at St. Boniface School. We're here to play some chess, have some fun, give out some lessons, and just have a great day here. So we really appreciate all the people that's involved in this. We're gonna have a great day. So, you know, the NFL and Big Brothers Big Sisters organizations collaborating, I think means a lot. Whether we choose to or not, as football players or as entertainers, you know, we become somebody's role model. We don't have to make that choice, but that choice is made for us because we're doing something that a lot of kids want to do. So we have a responsibility as well to kind of live a good life so that they can see that. And, you know, Big Brothers Big Sisters collaborating at the NFL gives us a chance to impact these kids directly. You know, come to their schools, come to their houses, help in the community so that they can see what it looks like to get to where they want to go. And also just grown men who maybe you watched on TV come, and it humanizes them. And now they're saying the same things that your parents or your teachers or your community leaders are saying. You know, it kind of hits home a little bit harder. So I really appreciate the NFL and Big Brothers Big Sisters collaborating.
We want you to show us a chess trap on the board that not everybody knows.
Okay. The first that comes to mind is one small trap from against the London system. So after d4, knight f6, knight f3. So if you know that white is intending to put the bishop on f4, want to play the London system, can play the move c5. I did this once in Swedish youth tournament. It's my shortest game ever, I think. My opponent played bishop f4 as expected. Now I took on d4. And here, my opponent made a big blunder. We're captured by the knight. And now black is already winning because of the move e5. It's attacking both the knight and the bishop, and if white takes, then queen a5 check, and the bishop will get lost on the next move. So
Your game is evolving, now your style should too. Welcome to the Chess.com merch store, your home for everything off the board. We have studied the theory of comfort so you don't have to. The Essentials collection is the ultimate low-profile kit. Premium tees, hoodies, and hats with zero distractions. It's the baseline for your wardrobe that lets your moves do the talking. From the classic rook to the legendary mittens, our plushies now come in every color to match your setup, mostly because they'll never judge your accuracy. And for those who still love the tactile feel of a win, explore our official chess sets. Durable, tournament ready, and designed to handle every celebratory slam or graceful resignation. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, we've got the perfect setup for you. So head over to chesscom.shop to explore these and many more. Grab your favorites before they're gone.
The London system is an opening that should be played by everyone. My name is Grandmaster Mon Hamilton, and welcome to my course, the London system. Something I've used in my quest for the GM title. It's completely playable at an over-the-board high level. It's also something that I would expect a beginner to be able to pick up comfortably. Let me show you a very cool line from my course. This is actually the variation that was played against me in my chess boxing match in 2022. In this position, something that's never been played before is the move bishop takes d6, which looks like nonsense. We can give this check in the center of the board, and our next move is to bring the rook over to b1, where we're going to win either the rook on b8 or we're going to win the queen on b2. I have a great memory of it being the last game I played before achieving the Grandmaster title, but it's also something that I've used against top players online, and I've also used against Grandmasters over the board, so it has a special place.
What is happening, y'all? Welcome back to Chess.com's Blitz Champs 5. T-Bob Baby, Cynthia Freeland, and Amon Hamilton with you today. All right, let's take a look at the bracket, and then we're going to discuss what's happened up to this point, and we will set the scene for what comes next, because it's down to 3. And for the first time in Blitz Champs history, we are guaranteed an offensive player to take home the title. But first, here in the losers final, Cynthia, what a final. A battle of the minds of the quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Kyler Murray, squaring up once again.
I love strategy. So I have 2 strategy questions here. And the first, Amon, tell us if you're Justin Herbert and you're Kyler Murray. They're more experienced players. These are guys who've done this quite a bit. Are you changing your tact here, or are you keeping it the same? And also, the note-taking. Mac Hollins, should he be sitting there being like, all right, this is what's going on here, and will that help?
Great questions. I think Mac is probably sitting there, many times in his career. I'm sure he sat down and watched some film. This is a little bit like that. The film's happening right in front of him. So I think he will be paying attention, as both of these players are players he's familiar with. And he might even have a rooting interest for one of them to make it to the final. He's got experience playing both, so I'm not sure which one he'd prefer. Now, as far as the losers final matchup, I think if I'm Justin Herbert, the way that things have gone so far, honestly, I think you have to be pretty happy with. If I'm on that side, I don't think I'm looking to change too much. I thought that his play has been very, very solid. Against Kyler, it's probably going to be a great style matchup, because I don't think that Kyler is the type of person to trade every single piece. And so there's nothing left on the board. I just don't think that suits him. That's not where he excels. And he's just not interested in that. He's not looking to get rid of everything. No, he's looking for the action. So I think that Kyler and Justin, we might see a battle as they try to both keep pieces on and get rid of pieces on opposite sides.
And here we go, guys. It's time for the talk to end, because now it's time to watch some chess. Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, losers finals. Who will move on? It all gets underway right now on Blitz Champs 5. Let's head to the board.
Let's take a look here. Kyler, Justin, and remember, this is in that losers bracket, so we're still, under the jurisdiction of a 3-minute time control for these ones, which does affect things. I think Kyler maybe is the player I'd say is a little bit more used to that time constraint, and we haven't really seen a raw time scramble. What I mean is, we haven't seen a game where it's been equal with 5 to 10 seconds remaining, because that truly gets insane to spectate.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, as you said, 3 minutes and matches underway here, and yet you have to still be careful, because look at how Justin Reed got eliminated. Falls into kind of his opening habits, not really paying attention. All of a sudden, a trap is laid. He's dead. His tournament's over, and a very quick start here from the boys.
Yeah, let's see what happens early on. Justin is going for this quick, I guess it is technically winning a pawn. We won't get into the sort of nitty gritty of it, but there were a few moves there for Kyler to play. It looks like what he's done is kind of accepting that he might have lost that pawn, when the reality is he did have a few ways to keep the fight going.
And at this level, Amon, how much do you put on like the difference between bishops and knights and trading them? Because I know in theory, high level, like a bishop's maybe worth slightly more, but at this level, is it not as impactful?
Yeah, I think the reality is that a bishop is slightly better than a knight. We like to say that as pinky up chess players, but let's be honest. Knights are so tricky. They're jumping around. You can't keep track of them. It just feels like a running back that you just can't tackle, constantly juking you. So I feel that the players will find a knight so much more annoying to deal with.
It's very true. Very true. Already here, relatively even. Bishop kind of invading space. I mean, do you almost both players doing a great job of developing here. What are the big threats that you're seeing?
Yeah, so I'm seeing that the bishop on b2 here, aimed directly at the king and directly at the knight, is fantastic. And you see how the pawns for white complement the bishop so well. There's so many holes and space for that bishop. Imagine it was the opposite and the pawns were all on the dark squares. We'd be saying the opposite. The bishop is terrible. It's got no scope, nothing to do. And having said that, Justin gives it up. So you can imagine, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but his position is still a good one.
Still a good position, but in many ways, that bishop was occupying the complete inverse of the bishop that we talked about last game, where he's hemmed in the entire game, basically a worthless piece. That bishop was exerting a lot of kind of unseen control. It's now over. So where is White's advantage coming from then into what would appear to be like kind of a relatively even matchup?
So it's going to be a little bit from the raw extra pawn, just in terms of material. So one extra pawn advantage, but also the quality of the pawns. We look at these B pawns over
Yeah.
here, doubled. This pawn isolated. It's got no neighboring pawns. So I think Kyler is looking. Ooh, and there was a big moment there. Maybe a sacrifice, kind of in Kyler's style. That was something that perhaps was missed.
Cynthia, what about you? Kyler, we've seen it before, kind of taking a lot of time here, down 30 seconds on the clock. What are you thinking thus far?
That was my biggest note was how Kyler Murray's not managing the clock in the same way as before. When you watch when he feels more confident when he's been winning, it feels like the clock management has been at least closer, if not, just a better matchup for him. So this could be a problem.
Yeah, I actually really like that point because we all play better chess in that flow state. When we like our position, the moves are easier to find. Kyler's swinging all the firepower over to the king side. I love this idea. And Kyler, maybe to what Cynthia was saying, T-Bob, starting to play a little bit faster. I think he likes his position a bit more.
Yeah, and this is interesting to me, Amon, because just watching the eval bar, like Kyler moves his rook over, and I'm thinking, okay, Black's in a great position, but White still has a huge advantage. But then, like a king move that seems to make sense to me, all of a sudden, is the thing that now spells doom for Herbert. So
Yep.
some kind of deeper positions going on right now in this game. And now it swings back the other way. Eval bar doing jumping jacks essentially.
I'm just going to take us back 2 moves and just point out if this rook had gone down, given itself up, it would have a checkmate in 1 threat. So that
Oh.
was what the computer was spotting. Some tricky stuff, some high level stuff, and Kyler keeping it a little more even keeled. But with this rook jumping around so much, be on the lookout for a potential sacrifice. And especially now, the rook's going to move. Be on the lookout because if Kyler doesn't maybe sacrifice, get an attack going, I feel that the position is slowly going to be losing.
Yeah, it would appear that way. I think, as you mentioned, the pawns of White superior to that of Black thus far. That knight kind of biding its time till it's going to get
Ooh.
involved, maybe start to make a move.
I
What do you
love this
think?
from Kyler. What vision. We talk about battle of the quarterbacks. Vision. That rook is coming from the king side and it's pinned to the queen. You want to take that rook, you're losing the queen in the process. And in the meantime, if you move the knight that's attacked, the pawn behind it will fall. So the blue arrow here is actually a chess.com engine highlight. And Justin Herbert rising to the
Okay.
occasion, playing the only move to keep his advantage.
Damn, nice vision. Okay, the quarterbacks doing battle, both seeing all the moves at play, how the defenses are operating. White now suddenly with the advantage once again. But really at this point, like, it's hard to say there's a real tangible advantage, despite that Amon sees it. But for these
Yep.
players, them both still really kind of feeling things out move by move.
Agreed. This is not a. This isn't a position that's going to collapse, in one move.
Yeah.
They were here for the long haul. 25 seconds though for Kyler. Thinking about that time as it gets really low. I said we haven't seen a proper time scramble. We might see it here for the first time.
And so, yeah, I mean, if you're Kyler at this point, again, this is one of those situations we talked about earlier where you almost just let go and let God. I mean,
Oh no,
you're so far down, get bold,
he's
see
gone
what's
for
going
the
to happen.
sacrifice, but oh my goodness! And it's as if Justin believed him. They're both seeing the same thing, but forgetting his queen in the middle of the
Yeah.
board.
There it is. And I mean, that's pure time control right there, right? Like there's no way Kyler misses that if he has more on the clock, but he's panicking,
Exactly.
he's trying to do something bold and
Watch out. There's a
that's
checkmate
super.
idea. Don't count out Kyler just yet. He's not giving up. He's trying to coordinate these rooks. He's going to threaten checkmate, although if Justin plays f3 or king f1, which he does,
There it
he's going
is.
to avoid it.
Good, really solid stuff there by Herbert to not panic at the end. It could have been a scary situation, as you pointed out, Amon. And I think credit to Murray for sticking this out as well, and
Yep.
and not just immediately conceding after giving up the queen.
No, and he's going to throw some moves out here. He's doing the right thing, being as
Opening
tricky
the
as
king
possible.
up.
That's a check. He's trying to coordinate, but there's just no threats available. What he needs is Justin to just start second guessing himself, get lower on time himself. But the move quality from Justin Herbert is just too strong right now. Okay. He's still got a rook on the board. This is the first time we've really seen Justin under 10 seconds. How are his nerves? Okay, he's going to take that. The pawns need to move here. 7 seconds. How is Justin's speed? T-Bob, I'm nervous, but I'm seeing the speed from Justin. It's looking good enough. Watch out for stalemate. If the rook moves somewhere, it could be stalemate. He finds the checkmate in one move. Very well done there. Wow. Now, what a game one. You know, I was thinking to myself that T-Bob was just looking at me with such admiration the whole time. That's what it felt like. And then I realized that no one can hold a perfect statuesque face for that long. So, you know, I was taking it as the biggest compliment there, but alas, game number one, Justin Herbert, that final moment, I have to just say it's so impressive he got that checkmate in, because any move with that rook could have easily been a stalemate. So I'm impressed by that, and well dodged. But Kyler Murray now has to win another game to climb out of this hole. Getting set up for the second game, I should say. In this one, we're in the losers final here, gearing up for, well, an opponent, a date against Mac Hollins in the grand final. And we also have to remember a little kind of tidbit for the audience just about double elimination is obviously waiting in the winner's bracket. Mac Hollins, you got to beat the guy twice. That's what double elimination is all about. So whoever makes it through this matchup has a very tough road ahead of them. Don't take the ratings too seriously here, because Justin coming in at 960, Kyler at 1200. I think it's been clear from the matchups we've seen, these are the two pretty evenly matched individuals. And Kyler has just made it, you know, out of a very tense match against the defending champ, someone he's played a lot, Justin Reed. He overcame that. I was calling along with T-Bob earlier in the event. This is an event about overcoming adversity for Kyler, and he's done exactly that. He found his way into the losers bracket early, and he's done a great job navigating what's been put in front of him. As we do have action here in the second game, it's already underway. Let's see if we can catch up with things. Okay, quick lay of the land here. We have an extra pawn for black, but I'm looking at quick ways to target that. Note, it's a must-win game. And I bring that up because it was Kyler himself who was in a must-win game against Justin Herbert earlier in the competition and wasn't able to convert it, right? Ended up making a draw by repetition. So cannot let that same thing happen here. Needs to find a way to keep things going, keep the action going, kick that knight out next move with a3. We talk about good fundamentals. That would mean bringing both of the rooks into the center of the board, keeping this knight more central. Honestly, both guys playing a really good game so far. The small difference, if at all, is just that one pawn on e4. That's all I'm seeing between the players right now, as I would say that the last thing I'd like to see from both of these guys, in terms of a good fundamental, would be an escape square for the king. Nobody wants to get back rank mated with, you know, just one more, potentially two more games until the grand finals ahead. I think rook to d1 sets a nice little tactic up, but hey, I'm I'm not going to criticize a move like that. I think that's a great move by Kyler. Yes, that square is covered for now, but that won't always be the case. B4 is a great source of counterplay. I mean, I got to be honest. You could drop me into commentary of a position like this, and no, I wouldn't be able to predict that we're here watching Blitz Champs. This could be any two strong players. The position looks very reasonable. Just that one extra pawn. Nobody making any critical mistakes here. Even this move. Yes, it's not as good as taking with the pawn, but still a fantastic move. And look at the tactical vision, the battle of the quarterbacks. Bishop takes on B1. Now the threat, not to mention the F2 pawn. That's in reaction to Kyler setting up his own ideas with knight E7. So, T-Bob, we've been spoiled here. It's been a battle of vision between both of these quarterbacks. And as you join, the finishing touches are being put on that masterpiece by Justin Herbert.
Okay, Herbert saying good game. Let's see if Kyler responds.
Yeah, it just looks like all good sportsmanship here. I was waiting for the trash talk.
Yeah.
These guys are
keeping it
too
classy.
Yeah, they're just too good.
Yeah, sorry about that, Aman. Great job holding it down. You know, I think I tempted fate. Before we started the show, we were talking about, when you have like a problem at your house, like, is that all you? Well, my computer's dead. My computer just literally died. It will not do anything. Rest in peace. That's a problem for another day. But today we switched the laptop. I apologize if others in the audience.
That was a quick recovery then. I gotta give you some credit.
Yeah, we switched the laptop. We moved things around a little bit, and we are ready to go. Because how could I miss Blitz Champ 5 Grand Final? Mac Hollins, Justin Herbert, one offensive player will win. Will it be the quarterback, or will it be the wide receivers that are always complaining about said quarterbacks? Absolutely cannot wait. Oh, wait, here we go. Can we hear? Oh, I thought they were.
Yeah, I thought I heard it as well. Yeah, we're on the lookout now for any time we can listen in.
You could hear Herbert talking about the tension. All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back in a few minutes for the Blitz Champs 5 Grand Final. Thank you so much. Everybody follow Chess.com. We got plenty more action coming up right here at Blitz Champs.
Are you tired of losing against strangers in chess? Donating ELO rating points to somebody you don't even know? Feels a lot better losing to a friend who could actually use those rating points and then thank you later. Sync your contacts and get started playing against people you already know in real life on Chess.com today.
Hey guys, if I make this in one go, we're gonna launch a no ads plan. Does an own goal count? Hey guys, new plan. If I make this shot, we're gonna launch a no ads plan. Hey guys, last try. If I make this bullseye, we're launching the no ads plan. No more questions. I did it! I made the bullseye! Do it! Launch the no ads plan!
Love chess but don't like ads? Sign up for Chess.com's no ads plan and play chess ad-free.
Hello guys, I'm playing here against my chessbot and here is my secret weapon. Let's go. Okay, I'm MLS striker and Serbian national team member Dan Joveric. Let's play. So we have white. That's good.
E4 AM?
E4, of course. Let's see.
Sicilian? Oh, it's like I was playing with black.
I'm not playing.
But this might be a separate video and they actually don't know that, so.
Let's see. I didn't expect this move by myself.
Wow.
But there is one good thing. I cannot lose.
Maybe you draw.
So, yeah. I mean, Dan is winning anyway, so.
Okay, I don't have to help so far.
Is this you playing? Oh my God, what is this move?
We sure we want to do this video after this move? This is how bad they think you are?
Let's see d4, huh? Yeah, this move makes no sense, but you need to be careful. Okay, I'm gonna just develop my pieces.
Yeah, I think. I think black is like already lost. Almost by force. I mean, you can obviously just develop, but I think this setup looks...
Yeah, 95.
Bishop c4, I think 95 is probably the best one.
Knight d5. To 90, yeah, to jump to attack the queen.
Yeah.
But he's gonna take here. Okay.
Yeah. I think taking on c to the knight is probably fine, right? Or what were you thinking?
Okay, I like. And he needs to move, I need to move the queen. Yeah, bishops.
I thought bishop c4 just like wins, but I guess there's a check.
Yeah, there's a check, I block.
Computers play really strange.
We are attacking here.
Oh, you're gonna, okay.
We are not scared of this guy.
You can solve a Rubik's Cube in...
Yeah.
39 seconds?
Yeah, that's my record, 39 seconds.
Is that more impressive than your chess?
No. We just learn few moves and it's easier. So I think we should take on f7 and then play queen f3. What do you think about that?
I agree with the first part. I don't know if I agree with the second part.
Okay, let's see. Do we have something better?
I would just play like rook f1.
Yeah, you're right.
No, I don't know if I'm right.
I think you're right, because we are attacking here. We can sacrifice the pawn on h2 and then keep the queens on the board.
Yeah. What if you lose? It's not my fault.
It's gonna be your fault. As you said,
I said, well, hold on. What about bishop h3? Is that a problem? Actually, it could.
That's the problem.
It could be a problem.
Taking inspiration from my drunk play is not a bad idea at all, whether it comes to life or in chess. So definitely green flag.
Yeah, green flag. I think that's neither. I don't think that's good or bad.
Ooh, that's such a red flag, but amazing piece of content.
The greenest flag.
The greenest flag.
He's the second best player in the world.
Who's the first?
Magnus Carlsen.
Okay. Saying I would have won if I had more time after every game.
Green flag.
Green flag. Not objectively true, but green flag. I do it, so.
It's a green flag. Definitely shows a lot of passion for the game.
No! No! As a person that always gets into time trouble, I know I've done that and I shouldn't. No excuses. Red flag.
It's a red flag. If you lost, you were either too weak, too slow, or both.
And here it is, guys, just like that. And then there were two. It's time to crown a BLITZCHAMPS 5 champion. It's Mac Hollins. It's Justin Herbert. Let's dive straight into the action as we are now on to the BLITZCHAMPS 5 grand final. $30,000 to the winners, charity of their choice. $20,000 in second place. Everybody wins, but one will win a little bit more. But more importantly, one will win pride and ego and a title that no offensive player in the NFL has ever hoisted before.
That's right. Mac against Justin in the grand final. And, as I mentioned earlier, because this is double elimination, Mac Hollins has that extra life, so to speak. You got to beat him twice, right? So your work's cut out for you if you're Justin Herbert there from that perspective. And then on top of everything, styles make fights. That's exactly what we have here. Justin, I think, has been so cool. And I think he's played it could be the highest quality chess just in terms of accuracy, but there are other elements to the game, like, the time is a factor. Like
Mhm.
having those end games dialed in versus maybe excelling more at the tactical side of things. So I've been impressed by Justin, but Mac has just played, I think, the best chess that I've seen from Mac, and I have seen some of his games pretty closely. I've worked with him a little bit, but he's in a flow state right now. You and I talked about that. I think he's there.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you had sussed out Herbert when you were looking at recent games and everything entering this tournament. Man, you had sussed him out as you expected him to be here in many ways, and a lot of things had gone wrong. But once again, your analysis has proven to be spot on. You've worked with Hollins, so as Cynthia you were talking about, here's a man whose rating may not necessarily be as high, but he has a superpower of his own, which is an ability to give extreme and sole focus to whatever he is currently engaging in, whatever is the task in front of him. That's why he's been so successful as an NFL player at multiple stops. That's why he's such a pleasure to work with for so many different people. And already before the game, we could hear it. I'm not exactly sure if you at home could, but both guys kind of genially smiling, telling each other good luck. And now, as you see the game faces setting in, Matt Collins, the deep breath, closing his eyes, kind of calming himself. Because I got to imagine when you're in a position like this, it's a battle to kind of keep to stay calm, like to keep your nerves under control. Because that, like, how would that affect you if you allowed yourself to kind of get too excited for the moment?
Yeah, I think it really would affect things and probably could only affect things negatively. I don't imagine that it would really be helpful to overthink the moment. But for both of these players, I don't think that it is playing a role. It feels
Yeah.
like that from the mental side of chess, which is a huge part of the game. I actually feel like we're looking at two of the players that probably have that firmly under control. There's also the tilt factor. You make an error in one game, you make an error in one move, it might affect the next one, let alone one game affecting game number two. And I feel like what we've seen from the chess from both of these players so far is they're able to sort of separate that, say, okay, that was a bad one, but the next moves don't have to be affected by that.
And you know what's going to be something interesting to me, and I'm not exactly sure how we would like quantify this or if we'll be able to say that this is readily apparent, but kind of a mental fatigue factor. Been playing for a while now. Like your average player may not play this long with this much on the line necessarily, and so classic chess question of who can survive the kind of the attrition here as we are nearly ready to get underway with Justin Herbert and Matt Collins competing for their charities. Matt has the Free the Feet Foundation. Justin has the Dog Rescue Foundation. Again, they're playing for a great cause, but more importantly, they're playing for a BLITZCHAMPS 5 trophy, which they can bring back to their locker room. They can brag to everyone, I am the best chess player in the entire NFL. And if everybody wants to doubt you, just point to the trophy.
That's right. I mean, if Mac gets it done, you go back, say, hey, KJ, take a look at this. You can show it off a little bit, but I think for both of these guys, it'll be interesting to see the matchup again because we've already seen how it plays out a little bit. And after a few more games under your belt, you also start to wonder, hey, is it better to be fresh or to be sort of worked in a little bit? Justin's been playing a bit more chess. Mac has sat back and watched that last matchup. There's something to be said about just getting the reps in and constantly going versus maybe being fatigued from playing too much. So I think the games are just underway now, and here we go.
And already, it looks like, what is that, the Italian on the board? No, it's not. What are we looking at right now, man? You tell us.
See, you had to trust yourself there. This is definitely the Italian ever since the bishop ended up on c4. Now, it's been played maybe a little bit differently than you might expect. The black bishop usually gets out, but here it's being hemmed in, a little bit more of a defensive setup by Justin Herbert thus far. Mac trying to look for that explosive opening, prying open the center, and the early queen move. So I'm wondering, are we going to see castling? Because usually you want to get castled as soon as possible and then start to open things up in the center if your opponent doesn't match you.
Yeah, again, both players know what's on the line here. I expect very kind of fundamental play, no big swings here early on, a little more conscious of the clock, maybe not falling into the kind of rapid flurry of moves that we've seen at times today. Looks like Mac's now prepared to castle as well. Well, first he's got to deal with this. That knight going to be kicked somewhere.
Yep. There's actually, this will probably work out for Justin, but there is this weird school of thought that most people don't like to take their pieces and put it back on the starting square, but that can often be the best rebound square to get to the next square. So, don't always rule that square out simply because it's back to the beginning.
Yeah, one of the best parts about chess, right? This is always a rule. Well, until it's not. Knights on the edge of the board, knights in the rim, things are going to avoid it. But sometimes it's the right move. Sometimes it works out. So kind of knowing that push pull of when it's okay to break one of your kind of core fundamentals.
And speaking of breaking, the center is being broken open with this move c6. I really like the move from Justin. Makes perfect sense and not the best reaction. One of the reasons I say that, if we take it back, you could even consider pushing this pawn forward in the middle with a fork on these two pieces, not to mention the reality that that is just a hanging pawn on d5 in the middle of the board. So one way or another, Justin Herbert is going to win some form of material.
Yeah, and it feels like this is one of the worst feelings in chess, when you think everything's going fine. Okay, it's stable, it's the beginning of the game, nothing major, and all of a sudden you see what you missed, and now you're kind of panicking, trying to figure your way out of it. So right here, immediately a test for Mac Hollins as to how he's going to handle this.
Okay, and just jumping ahead to catch up here, I think we missed a few moves, but we can imagine, and I'll just go back to show them that, yes, that pawn did get captured in the center, and then Mac went for the pin, but he relinquished it by capturing immediately. So advantage Justin Herbert when you look at the bishop pair. You control all color squares on the board, the extra pawn as well. And the blue arrow, though, showing that this is the move that keeps the advantage. You can see it wasn't played by Justin, and now you have an idea to double those rooks and maybe take that A pawn in the future for Mac.
Oh, man, yeah, a lot of pressure starting to build up for Herbert on that queen side. We'll see if Mac continues the fight here.
Aggressive ideas, T-Bob, on the king side. It's almost like Mac, despite being, let's say, worse here, he has the possibility of playing both sides of the board. First of all, he can directly take that pawn. He can double the rooks. That's the queen side action. The center, he's got a pawn hanging here. Don't take it now because the rook is hanging. King side, he can bring the queen over here and threaten checkmate. Feels like there's options everywhere.
Herbert trying to respond, trying to get rid of that. Of course, that bishop protected by the, or excuse me, the rook protected by the bishop there.
Yep.
Mac getting his queen out of there.
Okay, let's see. This move in the center looks like just a free pawn. It might get met with a sort of a reverse pin back at you. You take my pawn, in comes the rook to pin that piece to the queen. It's really difficult to hold off on taking this pawn. You'd have to sense that the danger is coming. He doesn't do it. He grabs it anyway. And a big moment missed there as rook e8 was not played.
Yeah, just going for the simple trade, not quite seeing it again. Who could blame him?
Yep.
Now, where is the big advantage for White in this though? Right now, I mean, I guess is it as simple as those two pass or the pass pawn on the outside?
It is. I know it feels like a little harsh because it's only one pawn advantage, but White has the opportunity to set up a phenomenal bit of coordination. The rook behind the pawn, and then I tell you, nothing can stop this pawn from getting all the way up the board. When it's on light squares, it means that the rook is going to be blocking on a dark square, but you have the bishop to perfectly complement and attack those squares. So you're just motoring that pawn up the board.
So what's the first step in doing so? Is it as simple as just going rook b1 and placing the rook behind a pass pawn? Like that's a pretty fundamental rule, yes?
I agree. In this case, I do like this move, but only because my next move is this. So if the rook drops down here and my next move is not rook b1, then I don't like it, and I would have recommended get behind there first so you don't forget. But as long as he knows that's where that rook belongs, I think he's got this.
And it'll be interesting to see how Herbert tries to kind of weasel out. So now he can obviously match that by bringing the rook back. Oh wait, never mind, because the bishop's got it. Get the
This
rook
is okay.
involved eventually. And then the bishop, you're saying, will be used to pry Herbert's rook on b8 eventually out of the equation.
Yeah, so you have a couple options. The first is the rook can go to b1, you push the pawn, and then the bishop kicks the rook out. So that's one path to just, get things done. The other is that, look, we're in the end game. We always talk about how the king is a piece you keep safe. In the end game, you keep it safe, you're throwing material away. You got to get your king into the game. So I'd love to see that from white. And Justin, really great vision here to understand I'm never going to win this pawn unless I get rid of the thing that's protecting that pawn.
And so right now, does Mac have to bring that rook to b1? There it is.
I like it. That's a great move. You're going to see the king getting really active. And this is the difference between these two. What we need to see is, will Mac be comfortable losing this pawn? Because he will win this game if he just brings the king over here and uses this pawn as a decoy.
Ah, interesting. But at this point, you kind of been focusing on that pawn. It's been the centerpiece of this entire game. You've been battling over it.
Yep.
It's hard to kind of switch tact mentally and realize where your actual opportunity lies.
Yep, and
there you go.
He did exactly what you hinted at there. He's bringing the rook down, but now he's effectively trading, but he didn't get that jump with the king. So he's doing it a move slower than usual, and it could still work out, but I think now the difference is the king is coming in, and that extra move, T-Bob, is so valuable.
That is the end game madness right there, guys. Like it's so similar to what Imam was telling him was the correct thing to do, but you're one move too late, and it makes all the difference in the world. And so is the threat here now, if Mac were to have worked over to that king's side, then he opens up Justin to come in and scoop his pawn out, and then he's going to push up. So this is their first kind of fun end game battle here.
Flanking. So this endgame battle, as you're highlighting, it's happening right now. The battle is on. If you take this pawn twice, I think everything is covered. What we might see is Mac then say, okay, I'm going to try to go take all these and queen this pawn. So let's see if that happens, but it won't be close because, okay, he's going to try to do this. Let's see. It's winning no matter what move Justin plays. The best one, the most direct one, is this one.
Wow. And this is where, look, in pretty much all sports, speed kills. And it's a situation like this where your king, he's just not fast enough, and you're stretched in so many different directions, and you're trying to figure it out.
We need to see this move, T-Bob. The extra pawn, I know it doesn't feel relevant, but if he doesn't move this extra pawn here, this game is going to end in a draw, which would be incredible. Oh my goodness, he went backwards. You never want to go backwards in a king endgame. Oh, it's the worst news.
See, this is crazy to be a mon. Like, this is so. This is the height of what we were talking about earlier. The end game is just a fickle and harsh mistress, which is Byzantine and impossible to understand. And there's the pawn move you referenced, but again, just a little bit too late.
Too little, too late. When the king tries to turn the corner here, it's going to run into a big fat king on d5 that is going to block the entry.
There it is.
And meanwhile, rolling out the red carpet for this pawn to push. Now, don't consider this game over yet, because if that can turn from a black win to a white win, this can turn from a white win to a draw. Let's wait and see.
Now, should Mac right there, he kind of opts to continue to protect his pawn, back up the king. Do you think he's going to continue to fight to try to advance a D pawn, or is he going to eventually scoot over and go start grabbing pawns on G?
I think he will advance the pawn. Now, here's the thing. He can win by just advancing the pawn if his opponent makes a mistake. What we have seen from Justin is that he's been going backwards diagonally, which actually loses the game. If he goes directly backwards, that's 100% correct. He's not making the right move, which means you can actually win the game by moving the king up. And this is the problem. These are the fundamental drills for king and pawn endgames. When you're up against one single pawn, directly back is your friend. He goes diagonal.
There it is.
And it's all over. That's going to be a queen. And Justin, with the respect resignation again, he knows that queen is coming.
Wow, Mac Hollins continuing his insane march to the championship here.
Our first one. Freaking messed up pawns.
Oh shoot, here we go again.
That's right. They're referencing the double pawns there.
Yep. The friggin' messed up pawns, as you heard Mac Hollins talk about. Very well said by the words with. Let's
Honestly,
bring
the
in
best description. Let's get real. I'd like to make that the official term for doubled pawns in chess. Friggin' messed up pawns.
Let's go ahead and bring in our wordsmith. We got Cynthia Freeland with us. She's been following all the action. Cynthia, what's going on? What stood out to you there in the in clash number one?
I think it was the kind of the doubling back. The end game was clearly what was the difference in this matchup. I'm curious, Aman, how would you be coaching Justin or Mac in this case to like relook at that game and kind of adjust now heading into this next one that's so important?
I feel like, especially for Justin, obviously he lost that game, but I'd be going back to the moments where he was ahead and trying to explain, why that was. Not just, oh yeah, we could have won, that was a tough one, but rather, we had the advantage here and this was how we convert it, because he might have those moments show up in future games. They're going to play similar openings, so you want to make sure you drill that right away. If there was such a thing as a timeout to get a coach's corner, that would be exactly what I would say.
All right, so already here, guys, we're into the action. To set the scene, Mac Hollins 1 win away from taking home the title, as Justin Herbert had to fight his way through the losers bracket. A lot has happened already, Aman. What are we seeing on the board? How do we enter this state?
I just want to highlight this capture on F7. So Justin Herbert has played this pawn move. He has won this pawn against multiple opponents in this competition. It's a very reliable trick for him, but then he makes a mistake. He plays, bishop captures this pawn, and what you're getting is one pawn and one rook, and you're losing a bishop and a knight. When you think about the math, that's even, 6 for 6, but it is just an understood theme that the 2 pieces is better than the 1 rook and then the pawn to go with it. Even though the value is the same, how you can use them, it always favors the pieces. That's not to say that's how this is going to go and play out, but I would say so far advantage Mac with those extra pieces to play with.
Cynthia, what a win this would be for Mac Hollins if he were to just run through the entirety of the winners brackets. He's got a major advantage on the eval bar now. Can he convert? It'd be amazing for him. Look at the
I mean,
fork.
obviously we're getting like a guy who dressed up as a chess piece for Halloween, a guy who has done the ceremonial first move before. It just feels like it's a full circle moment. So maybe, he used his Halloween costume last year to kind of forecast this moment. But I think this does put to rest maybe the rest versus rust debate that we always talk about when it comes to the playoffs in football too, because clearly, I mean, just like the Patriots, they went all the way to the Super Bowl because they got a chance to have a little bit of a rest, I don't know, just saying.
Ooh, and look at Mac applying the pressure. Cynthia, thank you so much. We will catch up with you again in a bit. What do you like about this, Aman, out of Justin, realizing, okay, I'm in deep trouble, and trying to seemingly make a move with that pawn push as opposed to just immediately being like, oh, I got to move my knight so my rook is protected by my other rook?
Look, I completely agree with it. I would even follow that up maybe with more quote-unquote desperation. Maybe bring the queen in. Just hope that you're tickling the pieces. Say, oh, okay, move out of the way. Let that pawn go all the way through. Give me something, because guess what? We've seen this pattern before, and he does it. I like the move. I'm not saying that, don't call it a comeback, but it's possible. Let's say this bishop moves out of the way. The queen slides over. The pawn can push. Scary moments still for Mac. I would say the safest, but maybe difficult move to play might just be to slide your own king over to watch that bishop.
And this is kind of fascinating because this is something that exists in a lot of kind of sports theory as well, which is this idea is when you're losing, sometimes to effect a comeback, you have to engage in higher risk behaviors, right? Which may lead to a more lopsided loss in the end, but also technically kind of give you the best chance to win. And that's exactly what the double exclam.
Yeah, so this is a double exclam that Mac deserves, but he's going to need to earn it on this next move. And I think he needs to play this rook over, because right now there's a bishop hanging with check, So it doesn't appear, and he does play it. This move was critical. It's like, I almost don't want to give him the double exclamation marks until he plays this. Now he's earned it, and what a sequence that is. There's still a hanging rook, T-Bob.
It's and I kind of like both players having the discipline to understand that, okay, that's there, but right now we kind of have bigger fish to fry, and already Mac, he can taste it. He can taste it, right? As Cynthia talked about, this is a man who's made first moves at international chess tournaments. This is a man who loves the game deeply, and this is a man with a chance to win his first ever major chess trophy. He's right here on the edge. Is now the time to take the rook?
Yes, I really mean it, because if you don't, that knight will give itself up, and then you have a different game on your hands. So he times everything right. This has been Mac's tournament. You know, whatever form we expected from everyone, I think Mac has just surpassed every expectation, perhaps even his own, because he's so dialed in. He's seeing everything. And to cap it off with that brilliancy, which wasn't even a one mover, I'm just thoroughly impressed. But guess what? It's not over until it's truly over. And we saw the last endgame flip evaluation from completely winning to completely winning for the other side. So don't go anywhere, anyone.
It is very impressive, though, to your point. You mentioned it's kind of been Mac's day to lose up until this point. And almost every time there's been a high leverage moment where you have to find the move. It feels like more often than not, Hollins has been able to do so. Both players very comfortable on time. If you're Herbert here, how are you keeping the faith? What are you looking to claw back with? Is there any path forward that you can see?
Well, the first thing, and I know it doesn't feel like much of an achievement, is I actually would recommend the move that he played. There's too much of a threat to get checkmated with the rook and the queen there. So I really like this move. Just make sure you're not losing the game in one move. Done. Now he's looking to make a threat. Queen takes the pawn. That hits the bishop, hits the rook, keeps an eye on this pawn in the center. I'll tell you one thing. If you take this pawn, and then maybe the bishop moves out of the way the wrong way, if you take that other pawn in the center, the whole house kind of collapses. So I can see a path here, especially with queen takes pawn, where things get really tense. Justin is finding the best possible counterplay, in my opinion.
And so what about Mac's response there going knight c3? Where's his eventual plan lie there, do you think?
Well, he's hoping the knight gets captured so he can win that rook. So the knight on b1 is pinned. He can also take it for free, but he's allowing counterplay. So he's going for threats. He's allowing things in response. I would not advise that. However, his response to the counterattack is perfect. King f7 defends both. And again, we see Mac just, he's like getting himself in these positions I wouldn't recommend, where it's, oh, you have to find this move. But T-Bob, he's finding it every time.
He really is finding it consistently. Herbert finding a way to give checks, though. But again, Herbert has to be careful. He has to win this game.
Yep. And if what you just said is so critical, because if you keep checking, that's it.
Yeah.
Right? And this might be another moment that we witnessed. Was it Kyler and Justin Herbert earlier? We saw the exact same thing. And now they can be weaponized against Justin Herbert.
I mean, at a certain point, if you're Herbert, it's like it's not the no, you can't do that. Never mind. Could you go rook c1 and try to double up the pressure on that c3 knight? Does that do anything?
So at this point, the first question is, will Mac play this? He doesn't. A bit of gamesmanship would have pointed him to the king move being the right one to just repeat the position, but he's maybe thinking, I'm better. Why would I repeat, right? That's crazy. And look at this. That's a check, and the knight is attacked. That is a fork. One piece of material is going to be earned back here if he takes with the queen, which I suspect that he will. So even though Mac has played great moves with the position, it would have been better for the game, for the match, if he would have kept repeating.
Interesting to see again if there it is. He takes the queen. Queen takes back. Queen's going to be off the board. Still an advantage for Mac. Can he convert?
Yep. And here there's another threat. Knight takes pawn. Knight takes pawn. That's a huge move. All of a sudden, everything falls apart here. The rook needs to move to defend the bishop. Oh, and the bishop's hanging now. Look at that. It's completely flipped around.
Wow. Oh, no way, dude. Just like that, you called him on. It's never over. There's always chances, especially on this level. And there it is, white now with a commanding lead. Give me checks. We were so close to a draw, and Mac raising the title, and now look at it.
Now, let's see how the time pressure plays out. My experience with Mac is he's a reasonably quick player. And what we've seen from Justin has been so far pretty impressive in a time scramble. But now more than ever, he's going to have to pull it out of the bag because he's only up 2 pawns. So it's not just about playing fast. You got to keep the accuracy and the quality up as well. T-Bob, we have knights on the board. What do you think the odds are that one of these players loses a rook to a knight fork?
It's especially as time goes down, it almost feels like it is inevitable. Both players going to be tested with quick thinking, strategic thinking. But there's the wait, yeah.
I've just drawn some arrows on maybe how this knight could arrive at a forking square. This knight also, ironically, wants to get on the exact same square. I'm always looking out for how those knights can get around to it. Look at this. That's a knight fork. You have to be on high alert.
My God.
And he's not.
Oh, he got it.
It was inevitable. The knight fork.
No way.
Unbelievable. Now, he's going to get it back. And here's the funny thing. We can see a knight fork right back at you. He's going to allow it, but it doesn't matter because, let's see. Will he allow this knight fork? He's going to get that rook so far away.
That's always a good feeling. Let's just get all the way out of here, kind of catch our breath for a second. And if you're Matt Hollins, again, at this point now, you just kind of, I don't know if he'll try to flag or anything, but just kind of get your mind right, readjust. You failed to convert. It is what it is. It's 1-1. Scoreboard goes back to 0-0, essentially, another classic football cliche. And we just got to get ready for the next game.
Okay, let's see the conversion here. I suspect it will be very good. Yeah, I see absolutely nothing wrong with this. And clean. Wow, Justin Herbert did not quit on the position, and it is tied, which means we're getting a tie break to see if we need a bracket reset for these players in the grand final.
My rook pinned forever.
It was bad ball.
I was like, there's nothing I can do. I just gotta like mess around.
Well, we got one more, right?
Oh yeah, shoot. I think.
Okay.
And so, Amon, we heard it right there from Herbert himself. Something we talked about during the game, right? That hanging rook at a time when kind of the instinct was made. Oh, look at Max there.
Yeah, night has fallen.
Oh man. Okay, we got serious dark mode Mac here now, ready to go. But again, Herbert even saying, look, that rook, it was done for. It's pinned there in the corner. It's going to get taken eventually. And instead of panicking, moving the knight to connect the rooks, giving another piece, what he say? He said, I just had to mess around.
3 minute or 5 minute, this one.
Yep.
And that's what he did. That queen dancing in the back row, staying stalwart, staying brave, staying in the fight. Some of the stamina coming to the fore that we talked about. And Justin Herbert managing to pull a victory out, stay alive. What a game here. What a deserving game here at Blitz Champs 5.
Yeah, and I think we're checking that accuracy, right? Because we are going into the tiebreak, and the accuracy is going to put Justin Herbert with the white pieces. And thinking back to who won those matches, it was the white pieces both times. So again, is this accuracy giving the white pieces actually a lot more impactful towards the match than we're giving it credit for?
Cynthia, I want to bring you in here for a second. Again, you know both these guys. You have worked with both of these guys closely through the years. As we go into here to game number 3, do you see an advantage anywhere? Like from a personality standpoint, give us real quick before we dive into game 3. What did you see last game?
They're both strong gamers, so I don't think that there's a real advantage from someone's personality. I think it's going to come down to who can see what's in front of them and stick with the plan. As we see, it's all about the development and what's going on. I don't think it's I don't think there's a big advantage for one person's inherent, like who they are.
All right, what are we seeing here so far, Amon?
Well, I really like what Cynthia said there because it actually sets things up perfectly. We're getting what you don't see very often in chess, which is a rematch, color rematch. It's so rare to play back to back the exact same situation. And I noticed Mac kept his pawn, right? We didn't see him make that same mistake from last game. So he made an adjustment that quickly.
What about the early trade, bishop for knight, brings the queen out as white? That's a move that kind of always feels subpar in a way, or it feels kind of weak. Is that, am I making too much of that?
No, you're making perfect sense. Normally, when you bring that bishop out, if you're taking the knight, you want to achieve something for it.
Mm.
And right here, I wouldn't say we've achieved anything. If anything, we've helped Black's position. We can see this exchange of bishops helped open the F file. This exchange bishop for knight brought the queen to an aggressive position. And now it's all being put together. Look how much pressure is on the F2 square. So much that Justin Herbert said, well, hang on. I know I brought that rook out, but let me bring it right back because I see what you're building.
And look, Max saying, okay, well, I'm going to open the way. I'm going to load up on it even more. So when you're loading up an F2 like that, the knight is still sitting there on F2. It's protected by the knight on D2 as well. Do you, like what's your main goal as Black here? Because I always get tunnel vision. And so like right now, I would be so locked on that piece on F3 that I'd be like, oh man, we have to get that knight out of there. And then all my plans will come to fruition.
So, in fact, this move is actually very bad, this last one, mainly because it takes the square away from the knight. And I was going to suggest maybe going after that bishop. Now, there's one piece that we haven't used yet. Bring it into the game. Bring everyone to the party. Knight to F4. I can see Mac playing knight H4, which is a good move to dislodge this knight. But even better is knight F4, because then we can slide the queen over and we have checkmate threats. So this is good. But knight F4 would have really put the hurt on targeting D3 and the king.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that goes back to the tunnel vision, right? Like he's just thinking, okay, I got to get that knight out of there no matter what. Whereas even though it feels a bit more complicated, as you said, if he goes knight F4, then there were more options ready to go. But it's still Mac applying a ton of pressure here.
Okay, this is a big moment. I'm just going to even take that move back just for a second to show everyone the possibility. Rook takes F2. You attack my queen, I'm going to leave it there. You take, I'm taking, and it's check, but don't forget the long range check, double check, and checkmate. As we get back to the live position, that was a game-winning move on the board for Mac, but understandably, he's going to move his queen to safety.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I'm always a fan of that of the knight H4, which attacks the queen, and you feel like it's protecting your pawn in front of your king. Like, oh, I'm all good now. I would have never seen that threat there.
And it was available once again. The bishop took from Mac. Rook takes was better. This is still phenomenal. We're seeing the threat on the rook on A1 here. If the rooks trade, we're probably oh, this could be bad. The rook is hanging, but so is this rook. The whole rook is hanging on F1. This is game over if he takes that.
Oh, does he see it? Does he see it, Mac? It's right there. You have time. I know it's 3 minutes. You have time. Blitz Champs 5 is up in the air. The title is so close that you can taste it. It's tangible. He's thinking, meaning it wasn't exactly in his plan, but can he suss it out?
Okay, this move is not the best move. It is a very good move. And in fact, rook takes rook, not correct, because you wanted to take this back. A full extra rook here for Mac and about 20, 30 extra seconds. T-Bob, this is his match to lose now, and he actually has checkmate in 2 moves. Well, 3 if you give up the queen. It's available on the board. He's setting up checkmate on the next move, but I expect that Justin is going to take this pawn.
Oh, and pin the rook, taking him out of the checkmate equation for now. Oh, he didn't see it. What's the what? Okay, so what is Black's? I know it should be obvious to me. What is Black's best path forward right there?
Here, this is fine. You want to save the bishop. Don't mess around. Keep it simple. But I think the rook needs to come down, and then we're hitting that pawn over there for a checkmate. That's probably the quickest path to just end things immediately. But I don't mind this move at all. He's staying up on the clock. He's saying, look, if I don't find the checkmate, let me save that bishop so I still have that extra material.
Yeah, I mean, right now, again, as you said, Justin Herbert down to just 30 seconds. Mac right underneath a minute a couple of seconds ago. And this is one of those high-pressure situations where for Macom's second game in a row, you have the advantage. You've played so well. Can you convert? what happened last game. You can't let it stick with you and build over to this game. He's still looking at that rook f2 move. No, is that still the move that needs to? And there it is.
And look, the queen can slide over. My recommendation, although there's so many good moves, just take it, because then you just get rid of everything. You have an extra bishop, extra everything. If you want to be real precise, I would say queen e2, and then your threat is to bring that rook down. Mac is uncovering an attack on the queen there. You can get it done any way you want, but trading the queens and then bringing the rook down to win that knight. T-Bob, there's so many ways to do it. He's going to get it done this way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no rook check, so not perfect, but I don't see any flaw in what Mac is doing. He's missing things, but he's not allowing anything dangerous.
And again, but Mac's time now sudden in play. 22 seconds of Herbert's 20. Both players moving fast, trying to take it. And it's a knight. It's always a knight at this point in the game. Freaking people out a little bit, making you concerned. Pin that thing. There you go. Let's hold him down for a minute.
Should not resign here. There's no sportsmanship to be had. This is the last game. Play it out, because you can get a stalemate and keep things going. But if you want a stalemate, you got to move that pawn. I think that Mac is going to set up what we call the ladder. Get that queen.
Yep.
Boom,
there
boom.
It is.
And he knows he's got it now.
There it is. Oh, that's like that. Mac Hollins. See what he says.
Congrats, man. Well deserved.
Only took me 3 years to pull it off.
Hey, better late than never.
Maybe 4. Shoot.
Dang, that's so much fun. That's tough.
Y'all got a lot of guys in the locker room that play?
We got a few guys.
Yeah.
A lot of guys on the app. We don't really play over the board, but we need to.
Dude, you gotta play. I gotta say it now, not in my interview. I haven't played online since the last tournament.
Online, really?
Yeah, I just played over the board. Like, I played the bots online every once in a while, but only person I think I played like 3 games versus Zach Ertz, just because we always played for the last like 6 years.
Dang, I didn't need to hear that.
It allowed me to play over the board and like actually think through stuff a lot
and
better.
see things. Yeah.
Because I just played 3 minutes all day. Like, I'll play a 3-minute game, not analyze, not look at my moves, and
just play. Yeah.
I think last year I played like 10,000 games, something ridiculous, like something just astronomical. Like,
that's so sick.
Yeah. And I was like, let me take a step back and play some over the board and actually learn some stuff.
Dang. Good game though, man.
You too, dude.
If anyone could have won it, glad to.
I appreciate it.
Oh, man.
Pure class, T-Bob. Pure class.
That's what we love to see him on. Also, you know what that is? That's a couple of chess nerds chopping it up. You know, guys who have been bitten by the bug, who absolutely love it, who just had a ton of fun getting an exercise of muscle on a public stage that they don't normally get to. Congratulations to Mac Hollins. He did the Rocky training, right?
Yes.
Forget about all this digital stuff. Forget about your computers. I'm going back to the board. I'm going back to Wilderness, and that's finally going to put me over the top. And Mac Hollins now emerges as your BLITZCHAMPS 5 champion. And guess what, guys? You want to follow Mac's footsteps? Well, check this out. Now, you can keep your personal Chess.com training sessions distraction-free with an ad-free membership. It strips away all the background ads on the site so you can focus 100% on that rating climb. If you want to upgrade your personal playing experience, just head to go.chess.com/no ads plan, go.chess.com/no ads plan, or hit the no ads in the chat for more information. Shout out Chess.com, shout out Justin Herbert, major shout out Mac Hollins, first ever offensive player to lift the trophy. We'll talk to him next. More BLITZCHAMPS coming up.
Hey, hey.
How about it, guys? Blitz Champs 5 is in the books. For the first time ever, we crown an offensive player as champion. And because it's been so much fun right now, we're lucky enough to get to talk to both Justin Herbert and Matt Collins. Boys, thank you for a fine day of chess. I know you're tired. Congratulations. Mac, how's it feel? I got to start here. So as you mentioned, it's been a long road to get here. But what I love, you hit the Rocky technique. In a digital day and age, when Ivan Drago and everybody's using computers, playing you said, nah, I'm going over the board. I'm going to bask in it, ruminate on it, and look at you now. Pay dividends. How does it feel, dude?
Yeah, it's great. It's like you said, a long time coming. I think it's either my third or fourth Blitz Champs, and obviously the previous ones haven't gone so well. But yeah, last year we played Blitz Champs, and I think my last game was actually against Justin last year, and I stopped playing after that. I was like, I can't play online anymore, so I stopped and just played. I think I played the bots here and there, played some puzzles here and there, and then I played my guy Zach Ertz because we've been playing for a long time together, maybe like 2 or 3 times. other than that, it was strictly over the board in the locker room, but which allowed me
Damn.
to kind of step back and actually analyze games rather than playing 3-minute games and just getting them done with.
So you played a lot in the locker room. It's very obvious that that was a huge advantage in terms of your vision on the board and everything. But do you, and you obviously brought KJ Britt into the conversation, into the competition this year. How do you encourage the other guys in the locker room to get started playing chess, and how do you kind of sell chess to them?
Honestly, it's I guess probably since COVID, it's a kind of easy. If you just get a table and put a chessboard on it, guys kind of gravitate towards whether it's the chess, whether it's the competition of guys going against each other, or whether it's everybody thinking they still know how to play chess because they played it in 5th grade. The guys just have a draw to it. I don't know if it's the same for Justin over in his locker room, but we just like put a board right on top of one of the tables in the middle of the locker room and just said, hey, whoever wants to play can play, and the board's always there.
Justin, so we've been lucky enough. I got to call last year's Blitz Champs as well. I think at the time, I don't know exactly what your history of chess was, but you were a player that was starting to get addicted, started to come on. This year, man, I mean, really came in as just like a really fleshed out, incredibly strong player, rocketed to the finals. We kind of mentioned Mac's journey. What is your journey finding your way to the field of 64 been like?
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. It's an honor to be here, and nothing but respect to my opponent, Mac. But no, it started a couple years ago. Our left tackle, Rashawn Slater, beat me very badly over the board one year. And from then on out, I knew that this is something I was going to spend a lot of time on and try to beat him. And that's been my mission over the past couple of years.
So we've been seeing you've been playing a lot of rapid chess, and by the way, Rashawn Slater went to a really good college. I'm just saying. But ultimately, when you're looking at the rapid chess, did that help you for this format, kind of prep to be able to see things really quickly?
I think it's always helpful. I try and play as many games as I can, and we don't have a whole lot of time, and so some of those quick games, it's good to just be able to see it and play it. And whether I've gotten any better or not remains to be seen, but it's definitely been a lot of fun.
What about this? And I'll start with Mac here, but really it'll be a question for both of you. So like I'm a football player by trade as well. Not as good as y'all. Didn't college or whatever, but like but it scratches chess does it scratches such an itch. Like once you get the fever, it almost moves in and it never quite moves out. And I just think about the parallels to football, like the queen being the quarterback, lineman, all this other sort of stuff. What do you feel similarly, Mac? Like, is this something that's here to stay for the rest of your life?
I think so. I've played chess a long time. When I was a kid, I used to play and kind of faded away from it. And then I think with the Queen's Gambit and COVID and all that stuff, got a lot of guys around the locker room playing. So you had more people to play with and started picking up again. But I've always enjoyed the game, always enjoyed the process of it, the thinking through things, the not just reacting off of moves. And also the more I watch it, when you watch these high level players, the way they're able to analyze things, you understand the competition and like the strenuous amount of time and effort and energy it takes to do it. Like we played, I don't know how many games we played, probably 8 games today, and we're like stressed as can be. It was like an hour and a half. They'll play 4-hour games, but have to analyze everything. I didn't really analyze much. Justin, I don't know how much he analyzed. We analyzed maybe 2-3 moves ahead. Like
probably less.
They're analyzing 50 moves, and it's like very impressive. So I gained a lot of respect as I kind of grew on this chess journey.
Yeah, and Justin, maybe a bit of the same question to you, but also I think it was game 2 of the final there, where that rook was hanging. You talked about it. You're like, okay, I'm in a bad spot. Like, I just got to mess around. And to your credit, like that's what Amon said you should have done there instead of trying, and so like, what stood out to you maybe this tournament? Because that was one of my favorite moments where you're in a lost position, but you stayed courageous. You kept fighting. You kind of found a way there.
Yeah, I figured the rook was lost, and I was like, at that point, trying to hold on to it is only going to lose me more pieces. And maybe there's a shot, maybe there's something downfield that I can make happen. And somehow got out of that one. But no, I think the really cool thing about chess is there's so much more to it than it appears. Like it's a board game, but in reality, there's so many more strategies and ways you can play. And I think it's a lot like golf, where one of those activities that looks simple, but the more you get into it, the more addicted you get to it.
Yeah,
I don't think golf looks simple, but not at all. But ultimately, look, the one thing I think everyone wants to know from professional athletes is about mindset. So I'm curious for both of you, when you were starting today, you knew it was both of you faced a ton of competition going in. There's a ton of games. Like it's the same thing before a football game. You're facing really stiff competition, like the best of the best. What is one or two things we can take away so I can go and have that same mindset when I'm practicing my chess or football, but only football not for me.
I don't know. I think my mindset was a lot different than it used to be. At least it was in the last 2 years. I went into this year like whatever, just like go play chess and see what happens, kind of. Didn't like do a bunch of prep work like the 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I think I did like a month and a half of studying and practicing and doing it. Like I was with Amon. I practiced with Amon 2 or 3 years ago, and then Jeremy Kane helped me before the last one. And this year I was just like, I'm just gonna let it be and let the chess hopefully play well. In my mind, I was just kind of channeling my inner Magnus. I just had it in me. Fortunately, it worked out, but typically that type of stuff does.
What about your
I guess,
mindset, Justin?
My mindset was just to have fun. I think this is such a cool opportunity, and the past couple of years I've played so much chess and just be on the app and to be in this tournament playing, guys that I play in football all the time. I just said, whatever happens, happens, and I'm just gonna have fun and have a good time. And I did exactly that. It was a lot of fun.
It's also sick because, like, as y'all have also, you're chess nerds as well. Like seeing guys like Amon, who you're like used to watching their YouTube videos and everything. I always love that. What about this, boys? One of the best parts about Blitz Champs is ultimately it's for a great cause. It's for charity. I want to give you both the chance to speak on your charities. Let's start with you, Mac. It's something that I advise people. When you Google it, remember the foundation at the end, the Free the Feet Foundation, $30K going to Free the Feet. How we feeling, man?
Great. It's a foundation I actually started in the last year. It's kind of, if you know my football, it's kind of my mantra.
Yep.
Free the feet. I'm always barefoot. But it's bigger than that in my mind. It's a whole mindset of not feeling like you have to be caged to be somebody or something that you're not. Be yourself. So it allows me to reach out, and whether it's camps where there's young kids, and I do a lot of stuff with Special Olympics. So it's allowing me to do a lot of stuff for all these different entities, and I really have just enjoyed it. And this being the first year, it's like I can really watch it bloom.
Hell yeah, man. And Justin, for you, man, great chess on the board and a great prize going to you and yours as well. The Pause for Life Canine Rescue, $20,000. What does Pause for Life mean to you?
It's actually a really cool organization. I've worked with them in the past, and I love animals, and especially dogs. And I think there are so many dogs that deserve second chances, and it's an organization that does such a great job of taking care of them, finding new homes, and making sure that everyone's got an opportunity.
Well, look, guys.
You've seen my rescue dogs go behind me during this broadcast. I have two of them, and they're both very happy rescue dogs. So I obviously love both of those charities. Thank you guys so much. It's been so fun watching you guys grow, especially over the years. But this was the coolest Blitz Champs. I mean, to date, they just keep getting better and better. Thank you for being such a great part of this.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having us.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank y'all, guys. Again, congratulations to both y'all. Doing it for the offense. Mac, congrats on the trophy, dude. It's going to look beautiful.
Thank you.
Mac, before we bring back him on, any words from the winner on the way out here?
I mean, just don't play so much blitz, play a little over the board. Free the feet, folks. Free the feet.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. Now log off. Get out of here. Y'all are busy men. Y'all go. Y'all go. Amon, what's up, brother? I cannot thank you and Cynthia enough today for the call. It was fantastic. Again, this is like bucket list stuff for me. I love Chess.com. I love this game. I'm very much the amateur, but it was so much fun getting to break down these games with you. Thank you so much. What stood out to you today?
Well, I gotta echo your thoughts. You've been calling me out in good ways, but yourself and Cynthia are familiar with both of you. So to actually be doing a chess broadcast, like Chess X NFL. So cool for me, and especially all these players getting in here. I was just listening to the interview that you guys were conducting at the end there. So nice to hear their thoughts and just the journeys, but how they got into chess as well. That's all it takes. It's just a little moment where, you know, a linebacker just beats you in a game that you weren't interested in, and suddenly you get competitive, and, you know, 5 years down the line, you're playing in Blitz Champs, you're winning a trophy, who knows? So it's amazing to see what small moments can kickstart a journey in a game like that. And, you know, it seemed like both of the players were kind of indicating it might stick with them for the rest of their lives. So very cool to see that, and obviously all for charity. So it's been a lot of fun to call the action today with you too.
Yeah, and look, once the passion moves in, man, it's impossible to get rid of. Cynthia, you're experiencing the same thing. Again, you do incredible work at the NFL Network, a massive nerd in your own right. How much fun did you have today? What stood out to you from today's Blitz Champs?
Well, first and foremost, we need to call him Mr. Grandmaster, because if I'm Aman, I'm telling us it is Grandmaster to you two who have really low chess ratings. We don't even need to talk about those. But I have been so grateful to be a part of Blitz Champs and see it grow. This is such a special event, not just because of the player involvement, but the charities, and also just to kind of capture some of the excitement of the football world when it comes to this incredible game. And we just keep seeing more and more. Like, I hear guys talk about chess all the time. When I go to training camps, people want to talk to me about it. It's just so much fun. And to be all kind of together around the same game means the world to me. T-Bob, you are amazing. I'm so excited for you and your up and coming status. You know, love that. I thought you were already here. That's the only part that I didn't agree with, because you're already here, man. But it's such a blessing to work with both of you. And I can't say how much I love Chess.com. It just keeps growing and growing, keeps getting better.
Yeah, and guys, never forget, there's more human beings playing chess now than there ever have been at any point in human history. The game is growing. It's going to continue to grow. You heard Herbert talking about it there. It is a game that will teach you life lessons. It is a game that is infinitely applicable, a game that can be helped to help you in your relationships, in your workplace, in everyday life, and it's a lot of fun. Okay? So if you've ever thought about it, Chess.com is the place. The resources are fantastic. The content's amazing. And I do have to give a massive, massive shout out to the Chess.com production team. I mean, top to bottom, just 24/7 grinding, putting this all together. They do an incredible job. Again, thank you for sticking with me as my PC died. We're going to have to figure that out later. But we made it thanks to that incredible production team. So one more time, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Aman. This was an honor. Thank you to all of our players playing on behalf of their charities. And the biggest thank you to Chess.com. Most importantly, you, the viewer. Enjoy it, guys. Chess will always get back to us. We love you. And we'll see you next time on Blitz Champs.